Welcome to the A7FL Games of the Week. I'm Matt Ryan. We are on DAZN and A7FL.TV. You're about to hear some voices in your ear. Don't worry, don't be scared. It's just Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond joining me on the A7FL Games of the Week. It's the DC Buzz taking on the undefeated Trenton BIC. Big Rob, when you take a look at Kason Campbell heading into this game, 6 touchdowns, 16 receptions. He's leading the A7FL at the top of those categories. This is the breakout season we've wanted to see from KK since he started breaking ankles in 2022.
And he's honestly always had that potential. The thing is, he's just a quiet monster. He does these things, these amazing things every week. He doesn't get as much credit as the other bigger stars on BIC. But man, oh man, if you got a second string or a third string corner on him, you are in trouble. You are in huge trouble.
You are going to want to have depth when you are playing against this Trenton BIC team. They're going to have Isaac Negron on defense today. I think both Ramadan brothers made the trip down I-95. And Corey Hammond, when we look at the quarterbacks, we look at Sterry Codrington, has not thrown an interception so far this year, not to announce or jinx him, but he's not thrown an INT so far this year. But as we move forward with the 2025 season, we've got ourselves preparing for the field, and if we want to make sure that we are ready, we are live. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. But Corey, when it comes to dealing with Sterry Codrington, you've seen him play, you've stood across the field from him. What makes him different as a quarterback and makes him so far one of the more accurate passers in our league?
Well, Matt, you started by saying, and maybe jinxing, how dare you? But one of the greatest attributes that Sterry Codrington has is his ability to not turn the ball over. And then when you talk about his actual abilities, he's been working on his accuracy, specifically to Kason Campbell. I spoke with both of those guys after the championship game, in which last year they lost only by 1. They feel, the both of them, that they missed on too many big plays, and they've been taking advantage of it in the air. But I think the most important thing talking about Sterry Codrington, and I mentioned it during Games of the Week, is even if for whatever reason, whether it's weather or just ineffectiveness, if he's playing Call of Duty and he's got his main weapon, which is his pass game, if he just quickly presses that triangle and switches to the sidearm, which is him taking off and running with 4.3 speed, that's a great side arm to have. So if Sterry is failing in whatever it comes down to, he can always break down a defense and score from anywhere on the field. And this year so far, he's also been an accurate and effective passer, especially to Kason Campbell.
And we look live at in Maryland right now. We are in Baltimore getting ready for our 1 o'clock game, but at 4 o'clock it will be a big battle with playoff implications. The Trenton BIC can walk into the playoffs today with a win, but the Baltimore Watchmen and the East Orange Renegades both have 1 loss on their record. Big Rob, when we talk about Anthony Service, a guy that's being talked about as a potential Rookie of the Year at quarterback, this Baltimore Watchmen defense is going to have to respond after their loss to the Animals last week in our Games of the Week.
They have to. They don't have a choice. We are talking about one of the best teams in the East, if not the best team in Baltimore, fall into an Animals team that I don't even think is up and coming anymore. I think they're just here. The Watchmen have to somehow, some way bounce back and show that they're still this dominant force that a lot of us believe they are. If it's not that, they have to go back to the drawing board and figure it out. And figure it out fast.
Yeah, and when you take a look, Corey, the Watchmen last week, Carlos Crosland coming in, doing the trifecta, getting a pick, getting a catch for a touchdown, and throwing for a touchdown. Do you put Carlos Crosland behind center in our 4 o'clock game?
I think the specifics of OG Buck's health are going to determine the exact way that they go at the quarterback position. But I think more importantly, the Watchmen as a unit need to take this Renegades team very seriously. Unfortunately, I was not able to play last week with my team, the Hawks, taking on the Renegades head-to-head in the 7 o'clock game. So I got to see these guys up close and personal. And one thing that the Renegades are going to come to this game with is size in the trenches. And look, the Animals are an up-and-coming team. They're probably going to stay in the top 1 or 2 or 3 seeds the entire regular season. We'll see what happens in the postseason. So the Watchmen losing to the Animals isn't a shameful thing. But I'll say this, in standing next to both offensive and defensive lines for both teams, the Renegades offensive line and the Renegades defensive line towers over what the Animals bring. And I don't know the effectiveness in which they're going to be able to attack OG Buck and the Watchmen. But this isn't the first rodeo for this new look Renegades team. They were head-to-head, toe-to-toe, point for point with BIC in week 1. And now they have an opportunity to not just play well and lose, but maybe against another top team in the Watchmen, play well and win here at 4 o'clock.
But let's go back to our 1 o'clock game. The BIC will be rocking their black and gold jerseys. The Buzz in their home blue and whites. And right now for the DC Buzz, this is a make-or-break game for their chances to try to get into the tournament of the A7FL playoffs. But if you want to be a part of the conversation, if you want to talk to me and Corey and Rob right here in our games today, all afternoon long, go to a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat. And if you've got something smart, funny, interesting to say, maybe me, Rob, and Corey will talk about it on air. I don't know about that. But, boys, we are back here on the A7FL Games of the Week, and we see the Buzz getting ready to it looks like they might be throwing things off. We see our officials for the afternoon. It's a chilly day in the Northeast.
Windy.
It is windy. It is cold. We have been dealing with rain on and off all weekend.
Yeah, and wasn't it Friday? It was just like 75?
It was beach weather on Friday in the East Coast. Your local time and temperature here from the boys on the before we get things started. But how much of we know the weather in the Northeast early on as we take a look at the lovely hair on that senior official over there. That is hair you can write sonnets about. But when we have a chance to take a look at this 1 o'clock game, when we take a look at the opportunity for the Trenton BIC and for the DC Buzz, the BIC, I think, are going to try to make today a statement game. They got real close to going 2-1 last week against the Patterson U. It was a close and contentious game up until the very end. Another controversial call deciding that game between those two teams. Rob, you've been on the BIC. Corey, you've been on the BIC sideline. Corey, I'll go with you first. What's the one thing you think the Trenton BIC are going to try to assert today against the DC Buzz?
Well, last year when we watched BIC games on Games of the Week, one thing stood out for me and Rob, and it was Dave Valley, the offensive lineman. Unfortunately, he has not yet been able to play so far. So what they need to do is, on the offensive line, establish that dominance once again. Because you mentioned last week, Matt, I kind of alluded to week 1. If two plays in each of those that week 1 and that week 3 game for BIC go differently, the defending East Coast champs, they could be 1-2, not 3-0.
Right.
So they need to take this DC Buzz team very seriously. And when we come back, I think we'll have much more to talk about, Matt.
And when we return, it will be throw-off. It's the Buzz and the BIC. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. Stay right where you are. We're back live on the A7FL Games of the Week. There you see K-Wack and the rest of the Trenton BIC as we prepare for action. Whether you're watching us on DAZN, A7FL.TV, or YouTube, we're so glad you're joining us here today. And that is a chance for the BIC to throw things off. Looks like Trey Cohen and K-Wack will be on that return team. There you see Mark Diggs, who will be behind center for the DC Buzz. And Rob, Corey, when you take a look at this game as we prepare for action on our A7FL Games of the Week, if the BIC get the ball at halftime and they're able to, and they're starting this off on defense, that must mean they are confident in who they have there on their defense today. They have some bodies. If they're able to bring the kind of firepower that we think that they're bringing today, do you think that they'll be able to stop any chances of the DC Buzz run offense? Because the BIC have had some trouble stopping the run heading into this game today. And when we take a look at the team rankings for the BIC, they are fifth in scoring offense, but ninth in scoring defense. Their plus minus is plus 8.3 points per game.
Ouch.
Is this a rise in competition, or is this the BIC seeing that other teams are slowly catching up to them? Because they got into overtime against the Renegades. They found themselves in a little bit of trouble against the BIC and found themselves at the end of a fortuitous challenge, and some would call one of the more tightly contested games we've seen in the A7 this season. But
well, and we forget it because it wasn't on Games of the Week. Against the Crush, they started really slow as well.
They had 8 guys.
I'm not. I don't
want to use that one.
I'm just saying.
I know, but
they've had 3 games this year. They've had 3 games this year. The Renegades, they, to quote the great wide receiver Eric Schuffer, whatever it is, right? He's like, oh well, if we lost as the Insomniacs, we would come out and throw on 150. Well, against the Renegades, a team that was 0-7 last year, if you just want to do the narrative, they went to overtime. And the game-winning point was dropped in the end zone. So I think to Matt's point, talking about this DC Buzz game, they better come out with their hair on fire, because you look at this DC Buzz roster, Rob, you could groan a little bit if you want, but listen to some of these names. Keon Charles. Mike, he gonna make it.
And these are names that we've seen in the A7FL over the last few years. Mike, he gonna make it is a game-breaking receiver, Rob. When he gets an opportunity for space, he can get out there. But is he going to have time today?
And that, you know what? Great segue, because I think that's going to be the biggest issue for the DC Buzz. Mark Diggs, their quarterback, he's good. He's good when he's good. But can the DC Buzz's offensive line give Mark Diggs enough time to get it to his playmakers? I haven't really known them to be the types to do that. So I'm not really thinking that they can. You could hope, but I don't see it. I mean, Mike, he gonna make it as a phenomenal player, explosive. If he gets in open field, you got an issue. But we're talking about BIC's defensive backs. I know it doesn't look like it because those stats look terrible. You just read them out; those stats are terrible. But BIC's defensive backs are pretty good. They're just a terrible run-stopping team.
They haven't.
Ashante
been
will
in
be
the air.
throwing off. And we'll get back to your point, Corey, in a second, and we will find the light, and we will find ourselves caught on in the 24. That is a live ball, solid return, but he will get to around the 43 before he will be stopped and stifled. And that is number 13 on the return. Mike, he gonna make it. So first time we've seen him today, one of the more dynamic returners, and the blue uniforms with the offset of gray and black will be the uniforms for the Buzz, and the BIC in their black and gold OTF jerseys, which we've seen them wear quite a few times last season. First appearance for them on the Games of the Week this season. Trey Cohen will stay in on defense. Kevin White on the defensive line.
It's nice to have alternate jerseys, but it's very confusing because I'm used to BIC having
BIC's
Buzz colors.
got to be the light blue.
If you're a long time like me, Rob, and Corey, we are used to seeing that Carolina blue for the BIC.
And guys, I was actually going to mention this. It looks like it's going to be Mike De Niro potentially at quarterback for the Buzz.
On the handoff from De Niro, first play from scrimmage, and will be stopped just ahead of the line. Trey Cohen in on the tackle. It will be second down.
And Rob, you'll remember De Niro from, when he played, here and there sparsely for, I think it was the Bulldogs. It was maybe 4 or 5 years ago with Mike He Gon' Make It. He's a mobile guy. So when you go from Mark Diggs, who's definitely a pocket passer, to Mike De Niro, who's a mobile guy, maybe they're trying to find some of the magic that they saw in some of the tape with guys that could run around at the quarterback position. Because so far, Anthony Service and Reem for the U, they were making things happen.
You see Sayer Hancock shifting in motion. Defense looking to apply pressure. Handoff again. And once again, just going back to that secondary line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 9.
I mean, I think they're trying to – I think maybe they watched film and thought, hey, BIC has a weak run defense, but Big Mo hasn't been here in,
I think this is his first game, and also he and his brother both were fasting due to Ramadan. So these guys, for the first time this season, are at 100%. We're able to have, some food before the game and maybe have some orange slices at halftime. But it will be 3rd and 9. De Niro, about 5 yards back from the line of scrimmage. 2 wide receivers. He snaps. In trouble. Met by pressure. This one's popped up. Can he get there? No. And it will be 4th down.
That's a dangerous attempt because Mike He Gon' Make It got some separation on Frazier. Now, the pressure gets to De Niro. He has to throw from his back foot. But more often than not, when you throw from the back foot, you don't have enough arm to overthrow a receiver with the speed of Mike He Gon' Make It. So BIC better wake up a little bit in that back end. H3 Frazier's a great cover corner, but if he's given space to Mike He Gon' Make It, Mike He Gon' Make It's going to catch one of those.
Yeah, that's very dangerous.
He in fact may make it one of those times.
Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond on your A7FL Games of the Week. Ashante Worthy will be back to return it for the BIC. Buzz will throw it off here. This is our version of a punt. It'll be an untimed down, and that ball will go out of play, much like a punt in traditional football. When you throw the ball out of bounds on those 4th downs, that kills it where the ball lands. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the BIC offense, and it will be the first time we see Sterry Codrington on offense today, and you see Ashante Worthy will be a part of that offense alongside Kason Campbell. There you see Carnell Wachter. Hi, K-Wack. Hi.
Hey, K-Wack.
Hi. While you do that, Trey Robinson also in on offense.
Don't encourage that behavior, gentlemen. Don't encourage it.
He waved at us. We can't say hi.
You see, they're solidifying the offensive line by putting number 11 Bone out there. And just a quick prediction, guys. They love to go jet sweep in these types of situations where they're traveling. Try to get the running game going.
I miss Corey so much. When he can read that before the play even happens, bro, it's so magical.
Corey's a magician. That's why he's here. And you see KK and Worthy, so they can run it with either one of those guys. But they also have Trey Robinson there. They have Marky Gilly, I believe, number 56. Chum will be the center. And Rob, this BIC offensive line, you know a thing or two about it. Is this where do you see the BIC being able to control the game? Is it going to be in the trenches, or will it just be off the pure athleticism of Ashante, Sterry, KK, and company?
I mean, I got to be honest. Their core is there. Like, there's a lot of guys missing, but their core is there. Sterry's there. Ashanti's there. KK's there. K-Wack's there. Trey Robinson is there. Trey is there. Trey Cohen. Bone is there. Like, their core is there. So I really don't have a problem or worry about where they can control the game, because all their stars, in my opinion, are there. Whether all the offensive linemen are there or not, I don't know. We're going to see what happens.
Robinson was set off to the right, fakes the screen. Codrington with time. More than enough time. He can read the New York Times, but Robinson took it a little too slow, didn't break out the Jets there. It will be 2nd down.
That's how much time Corey's been getting lately. I'm not. That's how Corey was looking a couple weeks ago, just sitting in the pocket, comfortable,
lounging.
Lounging.
Well, when you can threaten the defense with the run, And based on some of my film recently, I guess. No, I'm sure.
Stick 7.
Listen. They go out into that stacked trips look, and they think that the Buzz are going to call for screen immediately. They go for the screen and go. That's pretty good coverage from the Buzz, but Robinson was still able to break free because of the time that Sterry had in the pocket. If they're going to allow Sterry to just stand back there like that, he's going to be able to pick them apart one way or the other.
Too many options. He could have ran it. Robinson broke free. I think he took it easy just to see what they were doing.
They also, out of this look, they'll pull the setback Bone, number 11, and they'll go quarterback sweep the other side.
The snap from Codrington with time. Gets it underneath to Worthy. He cannot get a hand on it. It will be third down. Those gloves in the rain, sometimes helpful, sometimes hurtful, Corey.
Well, listen, I am not an advocate of throwing with gloves, and I'm not going to tell another quarterback that's won more games than me how to play. But on that throw, it's a crossing route. It was weird because Kason Campbell was sitting in the middle of the field. I was like, throw it to him. But when a crossing route's coming, you know the other defender is going to be there. He's got to put that a little bit in front of Ashanti, give him a chance to catch and run. Tough pass, but, hey, the Buzz are making Sterry throw, and he's missed the first two. Let's see. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works out.
Yeah, is it making him throw, or does he just have the time to kind of have the ability to do what he wants?
Like I said, Matt, that's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out.
3rd and 10. Looks like we might have had a little bit of interference here. Sorry for the technical difficulties. And we hope to get that. We'll hope to give you a little bit of an update on what that play was.
Yeah, well, it's a first down. So
first down, BIC.
No mystery on the result, but we'll get back to you on how they did it.
1st and 10, the throw. Caught, that's Kason Campbell. Kason Campbell makes one miss, makes two miss. Mama say, Mama sama, Makusa. He gets called out of play, but tried to go off the wall on that one, Rob. Big play again from Kason Campbell.
Very bold strategy. And again, this is Sterry Sterry just warming up. The warm-up's over. Clearly the warm-up's over. 2 plays, 2 first downs, and the sticks are moving. There's no more warm-up.
Yeah, they just traveled 3 hours to get to Baltimore. They go with another crossing route, basically a mirror of the first play that they called in the game, just a different formation. And the ball's placed, like I said, in front of the receiver. He has a chance to run. And if he's not called out of bounds, he's probably doing some kind of Fortnite dance like a gritty or something into the end zone.
And no substitutions here. Same personnel for the BIC on the line and throwing the ball. Big opportunity possibly to see Bone Harris or K-Wack kick off as an eligible receiver as the tight end.
Well, when they set Bone back in the backfield like that, he is the eligible player. The other two are ineligible.
Oh, look at that setup. It's a weird variation of the Snow Tribe formation. Codrington will be set up, having a conversation with the official, possibly asking where the nearest diner is. Codrington on first down. Throws this one to Bone Harris. Harris catches it, sloppy a little bit, but the big man finds it and finds the momentum. Gets the hoof, and gets the first down. Gets it in at the 11.
For those that don't know the context of that play, Bone Harris is a Maryland guy, an all-decade performer from the Maryland division, and in his his swan song in the A7, he's joined up with BIC the last 2 years. So you knew they'd have to get it to the Maryland native in his hometown.
100%.
Robinson set up to the right on first down. BIC eating up a lot of clock on their first drive. We're able to get the Buzz on a 3-and-out. Buzz started with the ball. Mike, he gonna make it, was gonna return it. Robinson will step back.
And you see the control that Sterry has of his offense. He basically just called an audible.
Oh,
and Robinson off the audible, just let him loose. Touchdown, BIC.
And it looked like, based on the formation they were in, it looked like they almost had a speed option set up where the running back was to the side of the quarterback and they were going to option the defensive end. But where the defensive end was lined up, Sterry saw that was going to be a B-gap run, would be a touchdown. Tells the offensive line, tells his running back, hey, get ready to score. check out where the cameras are so you can look for them. and then he says, set, go. And without throwing the ball or running around, Sterry Codrington makes the play for his team. And that's just great blocking downfield and a touchdown to get 6 on the board for the team that's usually in light blue.
And a great vision, Rob, from Trey Robinson, being able to just find the openings running through there.
And phenomenal blocking by everybody on the BIC roster right now. That looked insane.
They go for 1 from the 5. Codrington, with time, has only 1 defensive man, and he is being blocked by 2. Codrington will step up, and that one will go to Trey Cohen. He does the flip into the gritty, which is quite fancy. You're not going to see that on Sundays in the fall. You're only going to see that here in the A7FL. And, folks, we want you to check out our sponsor. This game is brought to you by Gator Tech. Get more protected on the field with the Gator Skin Shiesty, shown to reduce concussion risk by up to 79%. This protective shiesty is engineered with absorption material to help keep you safer during high-impact hits. Visit G8R, that's the letter G, the number 8, the letter R, tech.com, and use the code A7FL25, that's A7FL25, for 10% off. Or, if you just want it to be easy, go to G8RTech.com, the code A7FL25. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. Ashante Worthy will be throwing it off for the Trenton BIC after Trey Robinson ran it into the house.
And that offensive series is the BIC that I'm used to, that everyone's expecting to see every Sunday. Not these random star players from outside of the world, but they're core guys doing work.
And you can see the chemistry between them. Mike, he gonna make it. Well, he caught it. It flew on the fly. I'm unsure of what
what they're saying is it's going to be a false start from the throw-off team.
Oh.
Or they might have, based on how deep that throw is, they might have thrown it off from the wrong place on the field.
Oh, no. They might have thrown it from too far in. But, folks, if you do want to get that Gator Skin Shiesty, scan the QR code now on the screen or go to GatorTech.com for 10% off. Right now, trying to show skills, and Mike Hiko make it, leaning in with the shoulder, losing the beanie, but getting to the other side of the 50, 1st and 10 for DC.
You try to run Trey Cohen over. I don't know. Like, Trey Cohen's, I know he's small, but he's really not. Again, I know I said it before, and something bad happened after I said it, but
it wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault. Yeah, I don't blame Trey Cohen. That's not the guy you go after. Look at the tackle.
Look at the tackle. Low. Look how low he got.
Mike got destroyed.
The shoulders of Trey Cohen, just showing how impressive that young man is.
If you are currently learning how to play the game of football at any age, even if you're in the 38U, watch that film of that form tackle. That is as good as it gets right there. Head out of the way, shoulders the thing to impact. He attacked on the angle.
All-decade defensive line here for the BIC. You've got Kevin White. You've got Big Mo Ramadan. The quick throw on the screen, almost intercepted. They'll make the play. H3 Frazier in on the tackle. And a moderate gain.
Dorsey on the catch.
Trey Cohen, I know what you guys see on camera, but in reality, he's 350 pounds and he's 6'7". I promise you. That young man's spirit is every bit of a giant. And I hope people don't think because he's quote-unquote shorter in stature that he's an easy target.
If Saeed
just shows
Hancock
the physicality of the A7FL.
Right.
2 wide receivers set. Hancock on Mike. He going to make it. They're going to try to run on second down, but get brought back. Big Mo Ramadan crashing through. An all-decade defensive line for the BIC today. You see Ole Bell, Kevin White, and that big man Mo Ramadan stepping up, getting a stop, and it will be 3rd and a lot.
Hey, Matt and Corey, you want to hear a fun fact about guys like Big Mo Ramadan and Ole Bell?
Please.
Tell me.
When I was on BIC, I asked both those gentlemen to come play with me. You know what they told me in my messages? And these guys are my friends. You know what they said? We will never play for BIC. And they wait till I retire and go do that. Big Mo, Ole, Q Bell, you guys have hurt me greatly. You will never understand the pain.
See, Rob, I think that's them trying to get you to come back for this season.
I thought Rob was going to pull a Corey Ham. I thought Rob was going to pull a Corey Hammond and say I could block those guys.
No, I'm retired. My ankles hurt watching this game.
We're back to live action on 3rd and 7. Tenero cashed out. H3 Frazier jumping the line, putting his body in time, and it'll be 4th down as they need in D.C. an exorcist to get out this BIC defense. They are rolling right now.
Well, I'll say some of the early assumptions from the D.C. Buzz based on film have proven to be, at least not in the affirmative, at least of yet, right? We talked about, maybe they should try to test the run game against this BIC defense because they haven't been able to really be too successful. Not that they've been, getting gashed, but that's where teams might want to attack the BIC defense.
That's their biggest weakness.
And that's not working. And that's not working. And then when they've been on the defensive side of the ball trying to defend BIC's offense, you know what? Let's give Sterry time and make him beat us with his arm.
As if he can't just shift and run the ball out of that. That's
it's
4th and 11.
So we'll see.
Dinero in trouble. Dinero gets the ball taken out. And
Whoa.
that is Kevin White. Kevin White brings the ball inside the 30. And the first sack of the year for H3 Frazier. First career sack for H3 Frazier. Setting up the Kevin White swoop and stop. The BIC get the ball back. And also, on that last drive, Trey Robinson's 5th straight touchdown dating back to the championship. When we return, the BIC will get the ball back and look to add more to the scoreboard. Can the Buzz bring the fight? We'll find out. A whole lot more football left to go in the games of the week. Seven to nothing your score, 5:51 left to go in the first. And if you want to get an A7FL uniform, if you want to get a custom A7FL jersey, head on over to where it's effort over excuses. TPG Sports, the official uniform provider of the A7FL, provides custom athletic uniforms for athletes of all sports and ages. Get your favorite A7FL team's personalized jersey today at A7FLshop.com. That's the only way you're going to be able to get a Big Rob jersey, because he's not going to be making any more. And I think he's hoarding all of them in a secret storage space at Dubuque.
I am.
They're worth more than mine because he has less of them because he played on less teams. Mine is worth the bodega sandwich, and his is actually probably like accumulating value.
Well, bodega sandwiches are like $15 now if you find the right bodega. That's the voice of Corey Hammond. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. The 3-on-1 boys back in the booth, 7-0, 5:51 left to go in the first. Codrington with 3 wide receivers. Trey Cohen at the bottom of your screen. Kason Campbell in the top position, and in the slot, Ashante Worthy, 4 linemen.
And after a turnover, guys, you take a shot.
Codrington rolls out to his left, and he will just streak down the field. He will get taken down low, but called out at the 13, a correction to 12, and that will be first down BIC. Calling ISO Sterry there, Rob.
I mean, I guess they thought it was a good idea to go after him this time, but it's still Sterry Codrington, guys. I don't know what film you're watching, or Sterry chooses not to run or chooses not to throw. No team makes him do it.
And when you blitz him to force him away from where all the receivers are, the only option he has is to run. So it makes the decision easier, and then he just tucks it and goes.
Sidearm.
First and 10. 5:07 now. Codrington rolls out, sets, throws, caught, and that is Ashante Worthy in a phone booth. It don't matter. Touchdown, BIC.
And Ashante Worthy is speed, agility, athleticism, but what goes missing is the strength. Because when he catches that ball, he's in a low position. His feet are planted in the ground. He's not moving, and he's getting bared down upon by 2 Buzz defenders. He doesn't use his agility or his speed in this situation. Watch what he actually does as Sterry Codrington avoids the pressure like.
Great blocking.
What do you think this is, my guy?
Yeah, Chum could have given a better block, but he did the best for Sterry to step out of the way.
It's not speed, it's not agility,
Look
it's
at this.
strength.
Oh.
Arm tackling?
Get off of
Bad
me.
Boy.
No one is bringing me down that close. And then he dunks it in the end zone and does a Jordan jump.
He Jordan logoed. Dear Nike, good afternoon. You may not know me, but boy, do I have an athlete for you. The A7FL showing why spring football is alive and well. Going for the extra point, and Trey Cohen can't get there in time. So it'll be 13-0 on the scoreboard. The BIC with the lead couldn't get the championship points, but you want the champions in content management. If you're an online creator or business, managing oceans of live and recorded video is a hassle. And if you want to look for better ways to optimize and monetize those assets, our friends over at Scene, that's S-triple-E-N, help you get complete control over your video content, organize inventory, and maximize monetization with shoppable prompts and ads at optimum times to generate and increase your revenue. See it in action right now on A7FL.tv and learn about the next level of video commerce and social video scaling at Scene. That's S-triple-E-N.com, or just scan the QR code right now. BIC travel down to Baltimore looking to get some crabs, get some seafood, head on down to the wharf, and maybe, just maybe, walk out of here with the win. 13-0 your score. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. Trey Cohen wasn't able to catch the extra point, but he's had an impressive day so far on the 3-on-1 side of things, both returning. And if he ever gets a chance at the ball, Rob and Corey, he can make something happen, but will be the BIC throwing this one off after the touchdown. Now a chance for, some impressive hussing. Trying to show off the speed, but cannot get past the 37. And it will be first down for DC.
It looks good. It looked good. You know, it looked good. I like the stop and goes. It really did look good.
You know, Zaire, against Zaire, going up against Trey, and going up against KK on that. Three guys who know how to make things happen on the offensive side of the ball. Take a look again here at the replay.
Take a look at that. Those cuts are there. It's just that coverage team is more there.
They know how to isolate you on a sideline.
Yeah. And a direct contrast to Ashanti Worthy, who is making better moves, the same moves, but when you make that first man miss, you have to have the acceleration and the power to get through that second blocker, and that was a good return. Look, they got great field position, but that's kind of a perfect kind of segue into explaining the difference between why Ashanti Worthy is so special. 1st and
10, pressure immediately on De Niro. He rolls out, throws this one, almost caught. Mike, he gonna make it, couldn't get that one. It will be second down.
Did he just peg Sterry in the head?
I couldn't tell. I mean, maybe. But he's just not getting enough time. I mean, the pressure's there instantly, and he's dropping back at the required 5 to 7 yards, and he's just not able to even get anything going.
The first step off the ball, these guys they're hungry today, the BIC defensive line. These guys are chomping or champing, however you want to say it, at the bit to get after the quarterback. De Niro will have G.T. Williams as an eligible receiver. He's got 3 on the line. 3 wide receivers set. Screen. Cannot get past the defender. That is H3 Frazier in on the tackle, and it will be third down.
Well, when you go plays like that, it's basically an extension of the running game. If the corner is going to give you that 3-yard, 4-yard, 5-yard cushion, if you can get the ball out accurately to a receiver with a little bit of speed to him, that's that 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But good job by the corners from BIC there to rally and make the tackle. But you know, listen, when you're still in 3rd and 8, you're going to have to convert a play down the field in the pass game. And if Mike De Niro is going to get constant pressure, what he's probably going to have to turn this into is making the first man miss with his athleticism, and then turning it into a scramble drill, which is a lot easier said than done.
He has the speed.
3rd and 8, the snap, fakes it, in trouble, De Niro. Looking to cash something here. Makes it, can't get it intercepted. Oh, Trey Cohen had hit the turf. Looked like Trey Cohen almost scooped that one up like Franco Harris a couple of decades ago, which as a Raider fan hurts my heart significantly, but it will be 4th down.
Yeah, and Mike is not. I don't know. The pressure's just too much. He doesn't even have a running lane. He got two guys in his face immediately.
And then he throws it to Mike. He gonna make it, and Big Mo is right there to meet him. Like, there is no time and no space for this Buzz offense, and they're gonna go for it again on 4th and 8.
And I'll say this, on a defensive line on 3rd down that had two potentially all-decade performers in Big Mo and Isaac, it was Devin White, the new BIC member, who was the one that De Niro was worried about. Number 3 at the top of your screen on the defensive line.
Former Defensive Player of the Year, Isaac Negron, but De Niro on 4th and 8.
There he is again.
Devin White with the standing switch into the belly to back, and the BIC will get the ball back with 1:11 left to go in the first. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corrence Hammond, a.k.a. LaCroix, when you get the ladder out there.
I see the problem.
What's the problem, Rob?
So, off height, that tight end is not even staying for half a second. Not even a little bit.
He doesn't even want anything to do with protecting his quarterback.
I'm talking, it's hike, and he's sprinting. So then who gets the tackle? The guy the tight end was supposed to be blocking. It's I don't know who's calling this setup. The plays are not working right now. They got to figure something out. This is not it. Everybody should stay home and block and give Mike De Niro an opportunity to make a play rather than, trying to go out and be the star.
It's the argument of protection versus options, right?
Right.
Corey, you're someone who has to deal with that as a quarterback. What is it that you think right there is the solve? Is it having everybody stay home?
Well, what I tell a tight end, right? What a quarterback tells a tight end in the A7FL, if there's only a 3-man line, is that you have to maintain your block until you're not able to, and then you can go out for the route. And if that hypothetically is said in a huddle, ask Rob this. That tight end now hears in his translator, his quarterback translator, oh, I'm going out for a pass. There's not even a hesitation.
Literally.
And you go straight out into the flat, or you're wide open, 3 yards down the middle of the field because you're a tight end, remember, right? You're not going to get too far.
You're definitely wide open, though.
Yeah, or you're not, because there's still somebody that's able to cover you because you can't get separation. And now the quarterback is running around like a chicken with his head cut off in the backfield, and there's no chance to complete the pass.
And that is our chance to complete the quarter at the end of 15 minutes. 15 gone by, 45 left to go in this throwdown. 13-0 is your score. Whether you're a parent, whether you're a child, or whether you're just a dude named Tim, we'll be back with the second quarter after this. We're back here, A7FL Games of the Week, and if you got a hot take, you got something that we or the coaches aren't seeing, get over to a7fl.com/chat or scan the QR code now. Join us in locker room chat. Sterry Codrington on first down, throws this one deep and cannot get there to Trey Cohen. Cohen a little behind that ball, and it will be second down. Matt
Yeah,
Ryan.
that's a great angle from our cameraman, and you see the deep post. Sterry had him over the top, just a little too tall on the throw, but that'll open up the defense. And on 2nd and 10, they likely can run anything they want.
Literally. And I'm just waiting to see. Again, I'm always saying this. I'm at this point, I might as well have like a meme for it, a recorded voice. Adjustments. Can the DC Buzz make the proper adjustments to slow BIC down and actually get a score off in this game?
Well, they got a lot of time to figure that out. The handoff to Trey Robinson, and Robinson off at the races, moves that ball ahead, and the BIC run game continuing to show that they're able to get first downs almost at will, Rob.
Almost makes you forget that they had another monster running back named Courage that we haven't seen in about a year.
And Codrington flags thrown. Can he get there? Campbell cannot catch it, but
a little too much sauce on Sterry right there, but Sterry got an arm, man. I don't. Do people forget all the weapons that Sterry has?
I think it's a matter of each week he tries to show a different side of it, and within that, when you're a 5-tool guy and you kind of want to show people how good you are, which has been kind of the thing Sterry Codrington did. In 2022, the knock on him was that he ran all the time in his rookie season. And then in he stopped running for a whole season and won MVP based on that. And just he's the reigning MVP in the A7FL.
Do you know how good you have to be to take out a part of your game? There goes Loud. Look at Loud. To take out a part of your game and still get MVP.
And breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new all-time goal leader in the National Hockey League. Alexander Ovechkin has passed Wayne Gretzky. Congratulations to him. And just down the road from us here in the studio, but big day. Congratulations to Ovechkin making history in the BIC, looking to make history. Great block, can't get there. And it will be third down. Another miss between Trey Cohen and Sterry Codrington.
And that's 3 in a row. And what you see is that last play that he missed on the deep pass to Kason Campbell, that was a free play. So they don't even have to, call a play. The touchdown was theirs to take. They miss it.
Right.
But when you see Sterry Codrington gets the ball back, he's going to be rubbing this down with the towel. The mist is sometimes worse than the driving rain. So you see there on the miss again to Trey Cohen on the crossing route, the ball's slipping out of his hands, and you'll be able to tell that because it's going too high. That pointer finger and that middle finger are what control it to get the trajectory. And when it's slipping, you're going to be over your receiver more times than not.
Codrington 3 for 7 so far on the day, 53 yards. Your score 13-0. As the fog and the cold and the rain continue to descend here in Baltimore.
See there, he's making sure he's got a good handle of it. But the way he's holding it, that looks a lot like a run play.
Watch that right side. The right side of your screen has nobody there on third down.
No one.
Codrington throws it down. That's the K-Wack. Carnell Wachter finds the first down more and pushes in. Almost gets leg stripped. Why you do that, K-Wack? Why you do that? Throws the fists up. And 6 will make him dance. 6 will make him dance. 3-score lead for the BIC.
Those boys at this point are having fun with it. They're doing what they do. And it's good to see it. It's good to see BIC mid-season just striding through it, throwing strikes. Look at this. This is great. And that's how you're supposed to play tight end. You delay the release. You block. Hold the ball a little high. But, man, K-Wack will not be denied. Look at him.
And much like the opening album from the Pretty Weirdos, open and shut, BIC cross the board and make it 19-0. Going for the 1 from the 5 in the A7FL. We have a 2-point from the 10 and a 1 point from the 5 on extra points.
And I will say this, I'm all for fun in the league, but when the ball's wet, you can't be spiking it tight end. Why you do that?
And Codrington will just race it in there, the QB keeper, and it will be 20-0 here with 11:57 left to go in the first. And folks, you see Sterry Codrington rocking the shiesty. If you are a football player and you want to be more protected on the field, head on over to our friends at Gator Tech. Get more protected on the field with the Gator Skin Shiesty, shown to reduce concussion risk by up to 79%. This protective shiesty is engineered with absorption material to help keep you safer during high-impact hits. Visit G8R Tech, that's the letter G, the number 8, the letter R, tech.com, and use the code A7FL25. That's A7FL25 for a 10% discount, or just scan the QR code right now. 19-0 your score in the second quarter. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. The Trenton BIC having a pretty good time on this trip to Baltimore. A business trip for the BIC. They are up 19-0. DC looking to make something happen to get on the scoreboard before halftime. Campbell will throw. And that will go the requisite amount of yards. It's caught around the 20. Gets away from one defender. Gets away. Ooh, and Campbell leans the shoulder in, pressures him out at the sideline.
Well, those are some pretty solid runs by this gentleman right here.
That's everyone Holder. That's the nickname.
Wow.
Who makes the
everyone on the roster for a first name is crazy work, Rob. That is crazy work. So I guess he's playing on the I'm him. So he's not just him, he's everyone.
I guess.
But it'll be 1st and 10 for the Buzz. Now, listen, I'm predicting this. We're eventually going to see Mark Diggs, the GM / quarterback of this team, eventually getting an opportunity here. But if Mike De Niro can get the ball out quicker, they could start to get their momentum moving forward, and then maybe they could find some holes in the defense, because it's still a long game, gentlemen.
De Niro copying what Sterry did, and De Niro gets caught, but a big play there. De Niro just seizing the opportunity and getting a first down, but it looks like he might have got hurt on the play.
I mean, with all due respect, Mike De Niro tried to do it first. It just didn't work. When that tight end ran out, Mike De Niro was running right after him in the same type of play.
Oh, that might be holding. That might be holding. There was a flag on the field. We'll see what the call is. I'm not sure if it was the tackle, but I think I might have saw some holding. Not to narc, but
I'll narc. Looks like holding. No, but what De Niro sees there is Devin White, who is now, I think, confirmed 100% in his head. Number 3 for BIC's defensive line. He was lined up so far wide that it was going to be a straight rush to the quarterback. And, yeah, it was offsides, so they're going to move forward, actually, and repeat first down. But when the defensive end is that far wide, you actually have a lane in that B gap, and they took advantage of it. You see the split is shrunk down by the defensive end, but he's still...
On 1st and 10, De Niro in trouble. Can find a way to throw this one. Caught! First down, Buzz!
Is that everyone again?
That is number 3 making the catch. Paris Hale, a.k.a. number 7, Trey Boston making the catch. Sorry, the back of those jerseys a little hard to read, but that's Trey Boston, an A7FL vet, making the catch.
Trey Boston on an Ozempic, if that's Trey.
It's not Trey Boston. You know, as per usual, we can't get the names.
Or it's Graves Jr. Graves Jr. on the catch.
Sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah, but what you see is, first of all, Devin White is in the backfield in Mike De Niro's business every play. So the only thing that Mike De Niro can do is roll out to his non-throwing side, his left arm, and throw from his back foot. And then, thank goodness, he's got a wide-open receiver down the field. And here's the jet. Mikey
go make it. Finds a way to the sideline. And Trey Robinson says, no, only I can rush in for the end zone. Only me and Sterry. How dare you? But another big play on this drive for the Buzz. Mikey gonna make it a little gingerly, though. That left leg looking a little gamey. Little gammy right there.
Yeah, we're going to hope he gets back onto the field really quick. Maybe it's a cramp. Maybe it's something he's got to stretch out.
Definitely a cramp.
By the way, Cole Gardella, that's a completed pass. Don't shortchange my guy, Mike De Niro. Those little jets are an easy completion there.
So it seems like they found an adjustment and something's working. They had
Well, I made a big play, and then Mike Hugo made guys miss in a phone booth.
But he's actually not trusting his speed. Maybe it's a lot more slippery out there than I think.
That Bob might have.
That's a great block. Mike De Niro has the space
throw
to
the
make
end zone.
Oh my
Can he
God.
plug it in? No.
He drops it.
And Dorsey can't come down with it. That was close to the sideline. I don't know if he would have got his feet in.
That was going to be my question. Yeah.
He's throwing
good.
someone bail, but that was a good throw. That was a good throw. BIC better cover a little bit more intently. Those guys are there. They're not in the frame, but it seems like they're taking it easy because Devin White is so dominant so far from the defensive line.
I don't know. I didn't see the beginning of that play, but Mike De Niro has the ability to make at least one or two guys miss from that line. We've seen quarterbacks do it. They drop back, they get rushed, they go one side and do that quick turnaround to the other side, and they're off to the races.
You see
I think that's wide open.
Sterry Codrington playing defensive tackle on this play, guys.
Sanity.
Former defensive back, and now on the pressure on third down, Ole Bell stepping up and stepping in, and whether or not they get the first down depends on the spot, but it looks like they got to the 10. It'll be 4th and 1 or 1st and 10, depending on the spot.
It's definitely going to be close.
I think Sterry's there because of that humongous
Oh, it's four.
tackle.
Oh, they give him the first down, 1st and 10 for the DC Buzz.
I'm not putting my starting quarterback on defense. My star starting quarterback.
Even with a 3-score lead?
No, you sit the bench.
Especially now with 3-score lead. Look what happened. Look what happened to the Patterson U by putting their quarterback last year in the playoffs.
Remember
at
that,
the
right?
Throw-off position.
You remember that, right? Yeah. I'm not doing that.
And that's just one tackle. He's got to avoid blockers.
De Niro in trouble.
Right there. He has the speed. He has the speed.
Got the pressure, and then Ole Bell. Ball's popped up, but that's incomplete, out of play. BIC showing that defense can do it. And that one, we'll see what the call is. Because that's if it's a lateral that went out of bounds, it's going to be second and an ungodly amount. Or if it's a forward pass, Isaac Negron showing some speed there.
Hold on a second. So here's my thing. You see this. All right, there's the turn I'm talking about. Look who's open right there. He's wide open.
Wide open.
Yeah, but there's guys in front of him. So.
But look, now you're not even really tackled right there, and you throw it. Where's the belief in your skill that you can get those extra yards on your feet? David Tender doesn't go down. But David Tender won't throw the ball there.
There was a flag on the play. Ole Bell limping towards the sideline. Hopefully Ole's okay. Looks like it might have been.
Protect the McNuggets, man.
Might have been. I thought it might have been the hamstring, but it could have been. It could have been the McNuggets.
It's the McNuggets. You got to protect the McNuggets. I know that limp anywhere.
We'll see what the penalty call is.
And it's moving the Buzz back.
It's got to be intentional grounding because there's two rules when you're throwing the ball away. You have to be outside the tackle box, and you have to reach the line of scrimmage, which is what he failed to do on this one. And then the other one is if you're in the tackle box, it has to be near an eligible receiver.
And it was intentional grounding. Mike Higo was laying on the ground for a moment, possibly stretching and/or doing an impression of my dog when it's sunny out. But it will be 3rd and goal from the 25. So they have to get it is the end zone or nothing from Mike De Niro and his DC Buzz offense.
Mike De Niro had right there on that last play, that intentional grounding was dumb. He had the balance. He didn't get tackled yet. He had the balance. There was no one next to him for another 5-6 yards. He could have taken the ball and ran it. You got to trust his ability.
This has a Devin White sack all over it.
De Niro throws this one. Mike Higo make it, but Trey Robinson gets in front of that one, and it will be 4th down.
That's what the quarterback has to do. He has to give his receiver a chance. Now, credit Trey Robinson for making a great play, but when the quarterback is lining up with 2 offensive linemen and 3 guys are declaring that they're rushing the quarterback. Now, sometimes they're dropping that middle guy into a spy, but it's just as effective because now the offensive lineman can't block the rushing edge defensive end.
Yeah, you have no clue who's
So
coming.
when you're Mike De Niro in that situation and it's 3rd and goal and you know that in the A7FL you're not going to kick a field goal, you're going to go for it, you have to give your receiver a chance. So he actually makes a decent play there. But if they're going to continue to go with only 2 guys blocking, BIC's defensive line is just going to pin their ears back and play for stats.
4th down, 5:02 and counting. Immediate pressure, De Niro met by Isaac Negron, and he got the nickname ISAC for a reason. It's not just a clever one. He throws up the fist, and the BIC once again get a huge 4th down stop.
Now that's as anticlimactic as a 4th down is ever going to be. I think that was a 3rd down. But I think what he thought he saw was that same lane that he got on the first play of this drive. But here's the difference. Devin White, when he got beat, was rushing with full speed. And this is no disrespect to Isaac, but the one thing that Isaac is going to do is not miss the tackle.
On the inside? No.
Yeah. You have a better chance. You have a better chance of outrunning Isaac in this part of his career.
And this will be 4th down. Pardon me, lack of correction. That was 3rd down. This is 4th down. Now, same situation. He's at the 45, the 50, going in reverse. The 46 throws this one. And we will see if they call that a sack or Shante Worthy in on the play.
Good. It's not good because you can decline the penalty and it'll still be 1st down for BIC. So, Rob, here, give us your breakdown of the offensive line play on that play, because if you watch it, there's actually 3 rushers in there.
Shante Worthy just spinned into the play.
First mistake is putting 2 down against a team that's destroying you like this. 2 down is insane. Second mistake is the other 2 offensive linemen you have couldn't possibly be the best 2, because the one in the middle got a spinner Rooney and the one on the right couldn't reach block to save his life. So I don't know. I don't know what the DC Buzz win did.
As a quarterback, all I'll say is that when it's Isaac Negron, a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in the last 5, Devin White, who's been dominating this game, and then your step up in the pocket option now is Ashanti Worthy. Yeah, it's not going to go well.
1st and 10, Codrington pops this one up deep. Kason Campbell making it look easy. The cameraman making it look easy. Tracking the man, tracking the ball. Touchdown, BIC. Just all the emotes. Just every emote you can have right there, right then. Touchdown, BIC. Just seamless.
And I apologize for the fans for absolutely ruining that call, talking over it. You go double reverse flea flicker touchdown to Kason Campbell. It doesn't get any better than this.
1, 2, back to Sterry, and then if you just don't like that, if you want a little more sauce, right through 2 defenders into the hands of Kason Campbell. Folks. Yeah. The Trenton BIC might have it figured out. They might have figured it out.
Well, the Buzz have it, because there was no pressure. Their quarterback just was assaulted by 3 guys unblocked on 4th down. And then 1st and 10, their defensive line is just standing there playing patty cake and hoping that Sterry throws an incompletion.
And if you want to bring this level of athleticism, this level of tomfoolery, this level of football to your town, if you want to bring an A7FL team to where you live, go to a7fl.com/owners. I'll let you know a little bit more a little bit later on in the broadcast. Going for the extra point from the 5. 1 point, Trey Robinson will be in at quarterback. Robinson plays a variety of positions, throws it to the big man. Bone cannot get there. But the Baltimore native getting the call.
He caught it. Was he it?
No, he caught it off the bounce. It
was a bounce. It was definitely
a bounce. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we were giving guys that look like, with that body frame, a little bit of an extra there. No, that's definitely disrespectful.
In the A7FL rules committee this offseason, I'll try to pitch it. If you're over 350 and you catch it on the bounce, it counts.
Imagine
that's our version of the push.
Imagine Quattrell Huffin sidearming bounce passes like it's a fast break in basketball to
it turns into that Larry Bird, Michael Jordan commercial from the 90s. He just tries to make trick shots now and try to get in big guys.
I mean, listen, BIC just went pitch, reverse, flea flicker, touchdown into double coverage easily. Kason Campbell just walked it in. Why not?
You'll be the one throwing this ball off. Now it'll be off the hands. It's a live ball. And that is zone 29 on the back of the jersey. Trying, some impressive skills there, but he will be met by Sire Hancock and Kason Campbell to get the stop at the 25. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Buzz with 3:34 left to go in our first half.
You guys have been calling a lot of BIC and watching a lot of BIC this new 2025 season. I'll say this: I've noticed a little bit of the personnel changing on the 3-on-1 return coverage, guys. Are those? First of all, there's Mark Diggs. Here's the quarterback change we were talking about.
You saw that coming. I mean, they haven't scored. It's been. I thought they were going to do it after halftime, but
no. But you see that they have starters now. All of their best starters are on the coverage team. They are not messing around with that after what happened maybe with 17 seconds on the championship.
The toss to Mook Thomas on 1st down. Thomas met immediately and brought down by Kevin White. Another emphatic tackle.
I've been calling Kevin White, Devin White his entire career. That's definitely Kevin. And listen, if we pull up his stats, I think it's something like 5 tackles, 6 pressures, a sack, and a strip fumble. He's everywhere for this BIC defense.
He's doing it right now.
And he's playing primarily nose tackle, too. Like, he is playing maybe a little off the edge, but it's been Ole playing a lot of edge rusher for them. It's just impressive. Now they have him at the edge with Big Mo clogging up the middle, and you've got Isaac Negron. They're bringing 4 right here, Corey. 2nd and 8. Oh, they're bringing the whole city of Trenton, trying to make something happen on the handoff. They matriculated a little bit past the secondary sticks, and it will be 3rd and about 7.
And you see they bring in Mark Diggs, who's more traditional of a quarterback. It's a more traditional formation. They have twins to the top of the screen, running back in the backfield, 3 guys on the line of scrimmage, and they can really effectively pass or run if you get blocking. So the first 2 plays, Mark is trying to kind of test the defense, see what they can do. But, Matt, you mentioned it. When you bring more guys into the box on offense, that allows for the defense to stack the box, because now in man coverage, you got everybody in there.
We'll take a brief timeout. We'll be back. After the 2-minute warning, we're back 26-0 your score. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. Mark Diggs a little frustrated, and we'll see GT. That's GT Williams, number 10. He'll be eligible, but it looks like they might have 2 against this BIC offensive line. The throw, caught! Mikey gonna make it! Makes it to the 45. 1st down, Buzz. Huge play on 3rd down, and Rob.
And that's the dangers of Mark Diggs, and what I thought a couple years ago, if he had played a full season with the Buzz, that year they were going to do well. His release is extremely fast, and as wobbly as that pass was, he put it in that young man's stomach. And Mike, he going to make it, is just going to do what he does with it. That was a great pass by Mark, and, I mean, look at the release. Look at the time. He doesn't have as much time, but he has the protection now.
And again, 1st down, can't get it there. H3 Frazier tried to get there in time. The intended receiver looked to be Deshaun Dorsey. It will be 2nd down.
But you see, as soon as he comes in, it looks more like a designed offense that is meant to attack the defense in certain places. On that third down, they kind of went with a slant look. It's a really tight window, makes the throw. But the key is that when he releases the ball, it doesn't matter how many guys BIC rushes. When you throw the ball before anybody can get to you,
right?
You give your receiver a chance. And even though he misses there on first down, second down and 10, they're looking a little bit better, at least on offense.
Minute 21. Clock will stop under 2 minutes on turnovers, and plays set to the sideline to the big man.
There you go.
It is thick boy season in the A7FL, and the big man gets the first down. That is GT Williams on the catch.
That's how you use the tight end.
And that's how the Animals have been using their tight end so far this season. But Diggs through the window, through the arms of Kevin White. And it takes Ashanti trying to go for the strip, sends Trey Robinson tumbling, and it takes Worthy and the help of number 19, Sayer Hancock, to get the big man down and avoid 6, and the Buzz called the timeout after that one. You have to.
If I'm a coach, Ashanti, go sit down right now. There's no way my number 1 receiver, his body is getting flung because he's tackling some 6'5" behemoth at tight end. No, just take a look at Ashanti's effort. Trey Robinson gets launched. Now take a look at Ashanti's effort here on the tackle.
Going for the ball the whole time.
Look at how his body flops. Look, he just flops. Like, no way. Get away. Go sit down on the bench, sir.
1st and 10, the Buzz looking to make something happen here late in the first half to throw to the end zone.
H3 never even looks at it. My goodness.
That is it. Too fast, a.k.a. Paris Hay. Pardon me, number 7. That is Graves Jr. again making the catch. That's his first tutty of the day.
Corey, talk to me, please.
Well, it's not accuracy right there. It's not throwing power. It's not really a design that wins the play. It's the timing. And if Mark Diggs can get rid of the ball and give his receiver a chance, he turns around and looks before H3 Frazier would ever look back.
Never look back.
That's a 1.2 second release.
Look at the release is insane. H3 never even knows the ball is up. That young man is tracking that pass the entire time. And H3's hip to hip, never knows the ball is up.
And that's what happens when you put Mark Diggs in, because yes, you lose the running ability that Mike De Niro brings you. But now you have a polished decision maker that even when he misses in accuracy, he's able to give his receiver a chance.
And now the pressure on the extra point. They make the catch. Can they get into the end zone? Hancock and Robinson try to stop the forward momentum. And that one will be incomplete. They will say he was called down at the 2. And that was Deshaun Dorsey with one hell of an effort.
That's always been Mark Diggs's call to fame. It's that release time. Like, it's insane. Second to none.
And folks, if you need if you're an athlete and right there you needed your ankles taped, especially, go over to our friends at Tape Me Up. Get taped up like a pro. Professional athletic training services to athletes of all sports and ages. Can get there if you want your ankles taped or your cleats spatted. Contact Steve at tapemeup.net. Don't get hurt. Get taped. Tape me up. Get taped like a pro. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. 26-6 your score. And if you want to go to Tape Me Up, scan the QR code now. And folks, Ashanti Worthy has played offense. He's played defense, and now it looks like he's going to return another chance at an extra point. We've seen Kason Campbell. Pardon me, we've seen Trey Cohen back there. And now it will be Mike Eagle make it. Throwing this one off for the Buzz. Down 26-6 on an untimed down. BIC may put another 6 up there without the clock ticking at all. Worthy. That one will bounce. That is a live ball that's inside the 25. Worthy will get this one, and he will be taken down. Smart play there, and that was zone 29 in on the tackle. Worthy did not expect where that ball was going to land, and that was a perfect opportunity for the Buzz to make the BIC work a little harder before halftime.
Well, he's messing around, in my opinion. He was pointing to it. He was making gestures about it instead of just doing the job. After the last touchdown that they scored being as easy as it was, they got to wake back up. Mark Diggs is back in the game.
And the Buzz down 26-6. Have to have a big stop here on defense. The BIC get the ball at halftime. They started the day with the DC Buzz on offense, a 3-and-out before a first touchdown for them. And once again, congratulations to Alexander Ovechkin. His 895th career goal scored just a few moments ago on Long Island.
Both teams have 3 timeouts, so.
Well, Buzz have 2, but Codrington off the screen. That's to Trey Cohen. Cohen screams downfield, and he stays in bounds towards the 46. They call him out there. The clock will stop. First down, BIC.
Yeah, that was explosive. That's what you expect from Trey Cohen. But when he actually is able to get the ball in space, like you see the rally of guys behind him, he just had everyone going. That was impressive.
And that's a great way to start a drive, because incompletions now will stop the clock, and you don't want to give the Buzz back the ball, and you want to throw the ball, give Sterry accurate throws that he can complete. The quick screen is a definite go-to, and when you block it, you can get a big chunk of yardage, and they still have the 3 timeouts.
Some big bodies on the line for the BIC, as they will look to try to keep Codrington protected. 51 seconds left to go in our first half. Snap by Codrington. Looking for an option. He throws it underneath to Worthy. Flag on the play, but Worthy will make the catch, make the man miss, and he will cut to the sideline. That block by Bone screams through another defender, spins around, and gets brought down finally. And we'll see what the flag is. A player down on the field. And it looks like it was on the BIC. Not what you want right now if you're the BIC offense. You're humming. You don't want to get sent back. And it was holding on the offense. And there's that catch by Worthy. Somehow almost lost that one. Set it up so the Buzz defender tackled his own man. Looked like Derek Kramer in the no friend zone. Live that to be true, because it's his own man who takes him down. We see it here again. Bing bong. Stand clear of the opposing defender, please. And then the block here.
That's why Ashante Worthy was so nonchalant on that return. He makes guys look like that regularly.
First and a lot more than they want. The BIC again, Codrington to Worthy. Worthy gets the first down, gets Irish whipped to the sideline. And that'll be enough for another BIC first down with 34 seconds, and they stop the clock after catching it near the sideline.
That's a good open field tackle, because Ashanti Worthy is feeling himself right now, and he thought he was going to be able to juke his way for another 6. But getting out of bounds is still huge, because they have their timeouts. If they continue to just move the ball downfield and force the Buzz defense to tackle them in space, I like BIC's chances. Sterry does have to take care of the ball, though, here.
First and 10. 34 seconds left to go in the half. Codrington empty backfield. Has time, throws it, caught. That's Trey Cohen. Cohen screaming down the sideline, and he will be sent back after being grabbed by the jersey. That stops the clock, and Cohen asking for the time. 26 seconds on our clock. And another first down, a quick play from the BIC, and just smart, getting right to the sideline, getting the first down, stopping the clock, and giving Sterry Codrington more time.
There's that zone defense again, Rob. It's not working.
Oh my goodness.
But more importantly, how's that bold strategy of just letting Sterry sit back there working? It's not. It's so
they're treating it as if he has no offensive weapons, like he doesn't have receivers that can slice you up. I don't see the defensive mindset here, or how they're really handling this.
You can't just let him do whatever he wants, because you can't cover these guys for that long downfield.
It'll be first down. Campbell, at the top of your screen. Codrington snaps. With time, a little bit of pressure, throws this one to the end zone. Wide open, Kason Campbell. That's number 7 on the season. Touchdown, BIC.
Yeah, that was just too easy.
Well,
just too easy.
He hits the corner route, and I don't know if they're in cover 2, Rob, or why he was so wide open. He's 8 yards behind the nearest defender, and look, Sterry Codrington did kind of quarter roll to the right side, But if you're letting Kason Campbell, who already has 6 touchdowns on the year, behind you in coverage, shame on you, because Sterry Codrington is going to find him.
And then you see here on the...
Oh, it was his eyes. Sterry looked the defense away and opened up his receiver downfield.
Hi, Kason.
That's great quarterback play from Sterry Codrington right there. And look, BIC got the ball back with a minute left. Too much time for defending East Coast champs.
The Eastern Conference champions with Trey Robinson, the number on the scoreboard, the number on his jersey. He's looking to add one more point to throw, and that one will be incomplete. Tipped up at the line, but another chance at championship points. We saw that be a hindrance in the A7FL championship game. So far on the day, Campbell, 3 receptions, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. So that's number 8 on the season for Campbell. He walked in today with 6 touchdowns on the season, towards the top of the leaderboard in the A7FL, and that 8 putting him out ahead.
Yeah. Just 3 catches, over 100 yards.
Yeah,
just a day at the office, just another Sunday.
Something light.
It'll be Holder returning the ball for Holder the second, returning the ball for the Buzz here. And the return team has been a bright spot for the DC Buzz so far today. Limited situations where they've not had solid field position. But that one is a live ball that is caught inside the 5.
Gotta do something.
He's got to get that moving. Oh, and the turf monster eats him up when he was trying to change direction.
Terrible.
And Mark Diggs and the Buzz will get the ball back with 19 seconds left to go in our first half. And as we roll on here, and you can see a little bit of coaching after that play down on the sideline.
Fire him.
I mean, what is he telling him? That he should
fire him.
He should be wearing longer spikes? Like, what's the breakdown there?
And Jaffos TV agreeing with you guys in the chat, and you can be a part of the conversation at a7fl.com/chat. Download the Locker Room chat, available on Android and iOS. Available now at a7fl.com/chat. Mizzle saying the Buzz QB has, and this was about Mike De Niro, he has not had time, but Mark Diggs so far
doesn't need it. He is able to get
the ball out. He's able to get the ball out. Scored on their last drive, looking to make this a closer game. And the Buzz playing a little bit of that the defense, that play from the BIC before. But Mike Key gonna make it, not getting a lot of yards, wasting a little bit of time on the clock, and it will be 13 seconds left to go in our half.
Yeah, they're trying a hypothetically safe play, but when you run the toss reverse out of shotgun, you don't get that dramatic press of the hole to the left side to open up the cutback on the reverse. But good play from the defense there, and we'll see if they just take it to half here, because that wasn't a bad attempt at it, but not a great one either. It's safe though.
It might be some trickery to get everybody's head inside.
Quick run.
Wow, okay.
Gets to the 30, and the clock will run down, and it looks like that will be the end of our first half.
That's they call timeout. They don't have any?
They had 2. I think the clock did stop. I think the Buzz did call timeout. So if they did, they have 1 timeout remaining.
I mean, you got to be somebody who's playing football for the first time in their life to think, oh, they went run. They're going to run again with 6 seconds left in the second. I mean, I don't know. If they're not going to pass it here, are they not going to pass it? Is there a chance they run it here? For what?
Here's the thing. If they're just trying to play it safe and making BIC tackle their ball carriers, I guess that makes sense. But you also have to be careful, because Mark Diggs has come in and had a good spark to this offense, but what you can't do is turn the ball over here and make what's already a bad look on the scoreboard even worse.
On 3rd and 5, we see this play from earlier, that play from Kason Campbell, and we're back to live action. Last play of the half. Diggs throws this one up, tipped up by Ashante Worthy, and he will end the half with a big defensive stop. Strapping up, Mike He gonna make it leaving it 32-6. We're at halftime here in Baltimore. When we return, we'll break down the first half and get you ready for the second. The BIC in the lead. Ashanti doing everything. How much more can he do? We'll find out next. It's the A7FL Games of the Week, and folks, if you want to be a part of the A7FL, you want to bring the team to your town, whether you're in Little Miami, Big Miami, or all points in between, whether you're out west, out east, up north, or down south, we want you to bring the fastest growing, hardest hitting football in not only the spring, but in the U.S. to your town. So go to a7fl.com/owners. That's a7fl.com/owners. Bring us where it's warm and sunny. Bring us where it's cold. A7FL's all-season, all-weather football. And we want to bring it to your town now. Go to a7fl.com/owners. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. We are at halftime here in Baltimore. The BIC with an emphatic lead on the DC Buzz. We'll get you some highlights in just a moment. But Rob, Corey, I want to ask you guys, Corey first, then Rob, what has been your takeaway from the DC Buzz and the BIC in this first half?
Well, I'll start with the DC Buzz. There's two teams that we've seen. There's the Mike De Niro-led team, which is struggling because I think that where Mike De Niro, as we watch some BIC offense highlights, case on Campbell, you stepped out of bounds, buddy. But with the Buzz, there's two games. Mike De Niro has the athleticism, and he can throw the ball.
Let's get back to that because I thought we were going to go to highlights in just a minute. But Bowen Harris, the big man with the football, just a big opportunity for the BIC offense. And then Trey Robinson, first big rush of the game, gets right into the end zone. That BIC offensive line, Rob, was doing work on that first drive. And then we see on the extra point, getting it right to Trey Cohen, doing a flip into the gritty. I'm trying to figure out what would be the ultimate A7FL celebration. If you're watching along on Locker Room Chat, let us know at a7fl.com/chat. But Mikey Gonna Make It, Corey, has been helping, and this return team for the Buzz have been probably their best weapon in helping their offense.
And on that one, he thought he was going to get the truck stick, but Trey Cohen was game.
And then Mike De Niro meeting this BIC defense and meeting Kevin White, who wouldn't find his way to the end zone, but would find his way into Buzz territory to set up this drive for the BIC up 7-0. And Codrington would just keep it. Sterry Codrington showing why he is an MVP multiple times in the A7FL. And this guy just having himself a half, was a little inconsistent in the air at the start of this one, but his legs helping set up this play to Ashante Worthy, and Ashante Worthy's, get off me, bro. You don't know me. Get off me, young man. Touchdown on that one, and again, the Buzz return team really setting a tone for the offense, but not enough to just this kid.
I mean, it looks good. Like, it looks so great, but the return team's just that much better.
It's a Huss with a lowercase ace.
And then
H.
Huss.
And then K-Wack
Huss.
not going huss, going huff, going through the defenders to make it a 3-score lead for the BIC. 6 will make K-Wack dance.
And that is not the ideal dance right there. That is not the ideal dance.
And then Sterry just running it in for another extra point. But Mike De Niro meeting this bull rush of a BIC defense somehow made this play. And just the right place, the right time. And Graves Jr. has got a touchdown on the day.
You got to catch that. You have to catch that.
Even if you don't come down with it inbounds, that's got to be such a momentum shifter. But we see here, speaking of momentum, on 1st and goal, Big Mo Ramadan helping track him down, Ole Bell, and they knock that ball out. And once he's on his back foot, this Buzz offense has been in trouble. And there we see Trey Robinson on the SWAT. For the most part today, these BIC defenders have been where they need to be. And here on 4th and goal, this was 4th and goal. That is not wrong. That was 4th and goal. And the BIC defense, including Ashante Worthy, hit the spin move. He's gotten a tutty so far today. And you saw that highlight earlier. But there he is on defense, helping out Kevin White and Isaac Negron to give the offense back the ball and almost have Mike De Niro lose his cash and his pants on that play.
Yeah, when you're throwing the ball away on your side of the field, and I'm talking over this play again. Here we go.
And we just Kason Campbell. Oh, just easy.
Oh my goodness.
The toss to the flea flicker to the big play. Taking a ride on the roller coaster. All the emotes.
You literally see when he shifts gears. It's insane. Like, you literally see that he shifts gears, and it's just, they can't catch him. They can't anything.
And just Sterry having the presence of mind, seeing the defender, KK just breaking off.
Oh, what a perfect throw.
And that's called separation, ladies and gentlemen. He was stride for stride with the corner, and all of a sudden threw it in a 5th gear and strides into the end zone.
And then we see Mark Diggs stepping up, getting it to Mikey Go Make It. When Diggs has time, he has been able to make throws late coming in late in the first half. Just being able to find, and especially this big man, getting it over to the tight end, GT Williams, who was driving like a GT there, had that big engine to help get the first down.
It's the same pressure, but he's just releasing the ball early enough to give his receivers a chance.
And at halftime, it is the BIC with the lead. Let's take a look at the stats. The 229 passing yards for the BIC, a big differentiator there. 133 return yards for the Buzz, -3 for the BIC, not what you would expect. And the Buzz having 1 turnover so far on the day. But the BIC in one of our 2 games in action across the A7FL with the lead, 32-6. Over the over the DC Buzz. Speaking of the QC Crush, they are leading at halftime in Ohio, in the Midwest. It's 28-0. Crush over Octane here at halftime. But Rob, Corey, we got to talk about the stats. The biggest differentiator here, the pass yards. Sterry Codrington has had himself time this afternoon. When we return, we'll talk about what both teams need to do after the half to set up for success here. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. We'll be back with your second half and get you ready for more action right here on A7FL.TV and DAZN. Stay right where you are. We're back live with the A7FL Games of the Week. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. And gentlemen, it's the start of the second half. And we were talking about what the Buzz and the BIC need to do. Rob, real quick, what do you got?
This looks like a touchdown. I don't know who's coaching and telling them to put these big back fellas on the 3-on-1, but if it's not another big fella over there, they haven't even shown.
GT Williams will be the one throwing it off.
So who's catching it?
I don't know, but you see Ashanti smiling.
It has to be a bigger fella.
And it
Oh,
is.
yeah, it's Chum. Oh, my goodness.
Marky Gilly, a.k.a. Chum. That ball will run out of the back of the end zone.
Oh, my goodness. They were going to give Chum the desserts. They were going to put Chum in the sky, bro.
Well, it's a touchback at that point. So the BIC will start with the ball at the 20.
Yeah, nah.
And we were denied. We were denied whatever that was going to be, and I'm mad.
A turnover. Shows them like, what, bro, what? Nah, turnover.
Yeah,
You're
so
a big fella.
secretly Chum is going to be on the sideline when the Buzz have the ball, rooting for them to score to give himself another shot.
Man, they would have put Chum's legs in the air, man. That would have been bad.
Oh, you put him in
Well, Rob, you sussed it out. You were like, why do they got so many big guys covering? There must be something fishy going on.
Something was odd.
And it looks like a restart here. I think possibly a timeout was called. Trying to get an understanding from the field, but the BIC have the ball. At the 30, it'll be 1st and 10 for the BIC.
I'll say this. If you're the DC Buzz and you see that they're sending out offensive linemen for the returns to start the half, you in that little huddle right there talking to your defense say, look, they're disrespecting us. We have to step up to the plate and answer them right now. No more of this rushing the quarterback and being scared. The way that they rushed that last extra point with another quarterback that can run around in Trey Robinson, that's how they have to attack Sterry Codrington and, at least walk out of this game with a little bit more pride than letting Marquis Gillis return it. Wearing number 56
you can't
across
even
the chest.
contain yourself. You're saying it and laughing at the
Look,
you can't
I'm just saying the call we would get if he returned it for a tutty.
Oh my
we
God.
could retire off of.
Oh my God.
We couldn't do anything else after that. We'd have to walk away.
Yeah, I would turn
we just have to replay it for the rest of the game.
Toss to Trey Robinson. Robinson
Oh my
there
God.
It is.
Whoa, that's what would have happened.
There's
GT Williams
happened
jumping into the pit like it's a Fugazi show at the 530 Club in '84, sending Trey Robinson to the waiting room. 2nd down.
And just a quick Cole Gardella update. He knows that that's a forward pass. He said, Corey, stay in your lane and just call the game. So, shout outs to Cole Gardella. And shout outs to the Buzz defense on 1st and 10, answering with a 5-yard loss.
2nd and 15, the screen again to Robinson. Trey Robinson wants it back. He wants that 1st down marker. He won't get there, but he'll get past the initial line of the 30, and it will be 3rd down. Robinson will switch out.
See, that's how they started the game with that stacked look. I think they should have went with the quick screen to start it, because see how effective it is, and then they could go counter off of it.
Uh-oh.
The throw caught!
Whose man is this?
Trey.
It's Baltimore, so why not have Trey Cohen run a Baltimore
Whose
special
man is this?
and flip it to the end zone?
Trey
Not
Cohen.
even break stride!
Disgusting.
Stop showing off. You're making me jealous.
Even the Russian judge gives him a 10. Touchdown BIC.
Oh, man.
Are you even surprised at this point?
Listen, when a Baltimore team gets Baltimore specialed, it's special. How do you not at least have your head on a swivel looking for Trey Cohen? They sent out Trey Robinson really late, and that's probably where the confusion was.
A Trey for Trey leading to, Trey and Trey leading to Trey squared. Touchdown BIC.
Guys, he front flipped from the 4 to the 1, and he still had to keep going to score. I don't know math enough to do how many rotations that is, but that's a lot. That's in the thousands.
He got 1080p 60 on that one. And the Buzz defense also caught 1080p 30 on that play. and it'll be Ashante Worthy, and it looks like he might just run it in here for the extra point attempt.
We're having fun. Ashante Worthy is got the mean mug calling quarterback plays in the huddle.
They're going for one from the 5.
You know when a guy that runs around all the time gets in, he's trying to throw it. I guarantee he lets it rip on this
flag on the offense, and that one will be too much. They took a little too much time putting that play together. So
I don't know if this is confirmed. I don't know if this is confirmed, Matt, but the penalty, I think, I may be wrong, is too much talent on the field for BIC. They're going to have to go back.
Onion in the secondary. Snap by Ashante Worthy. Worthy in trouble. How does he do it? How does he do it? He makes the catch to Shedrick Goodridge, but Shed will not be able to cross the line. Mikey gonna make it on the coverage, but the play by Ashante Worthy alone is going to get that one into the A7FL in motion highlights, and you can watch A7FL in motion every single week right here on A7FL.tv, on DAZN, on Fox Soul, and also Fox 26 in Houston, also where you can watch select games of the week every week, and we'll be live at 4 o'clock with our other game of the week. But folks, if you want to get more protected on the field, the Gator Skin Shiesty can keep you protected, showing up to 79% reductions in concussion risks. The protective Shiesty is engineered with absorption material to help keep you safer during high-impact hits. Visit G8R, that's the letter G, the number 8, the letter R, tech.com, and use the code A7FL25 for 10% today, or just scan the QR code now. Matt Ryan, joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. Big Rob, what do you got for us?
This is a great tech moment right here.
Kevin White in the Gator, wearing the Shiesty, and now he's trying to bring the Gator Tech kind of pain, and now an opportunity for the Buzz return team. That man just...
And he takes the shirt off his back.
Shirts versus skin. Shirts got it.
Oh, goodness gracious.
He's got royalty. He's got loyalty inside his DNA, but he is sans shirt. A solid return from the big man. We can't tell you who it is because we can't see the jersey. Turn it around. Turn it
around. Guys, he didn't just
That's
take it off
41,
of him. He peeled it off of him like he was a grapefruit. Watch this play.
Well, let's watch it again.
Look at the athleticism. Gets there, he says,
like a gum wrapper. Just like a gum wrapper. Just gets it off of him. And that is number 74 on the play. That is Big Kenny Stansberry. Coach Kenny coming off the sidelines, usually protecting it out there, but on the 3-on-1 return, he owes somebody $150.
Giving those guys some morale, man. I know that got the whole team excited.
Oh, the drive back home is going to be a fun one.
Oh, my God. The phone call I'm going to have with Kenny, man, is going to be hilarious.
The handoff from Diggs and a solid run there.
And I was trying to say this at halftime. The Buzz offense is a tale of two stories. When you have Mark Diggs in there calling plays, having an offensive plan, you see he runs the ball in the middle of the field. It's not really that great of a play. It's not going to go down in A7FL in motion, maybe even at all, right? We might not even notice that play. But guess what? It's 2nd and 6, which gives him the opportunity to complete a quick pass and convert the first down on either 2nd or 3rd.
That was Mook Thomas on the first run. He will stay set next to Diggs. Conversation with the officials. They'll reset the sticks. It's 2nd and 6.
Rob will tell you 4 yards on first down is nothing to sneeze at.
Hey, listen, my high school coach is smiling. He's smiling. 4 yards a pop.
I mean, it's 38-6. I don't know if he's smiling.
No.
On that play, 3rd and 5, 2nd and 6.
Oh.
Diggs 3 and 5 so far on the day. Another handoff to Mook Thomas, and Mook Thomas, and some flags after that play. Not happy with how that went down.
Kason Campbell with the too strong tackle. Why was that man airborne?
And it's a flag.
Yeah, it's a little excessive, honestly.
Yeah.
A little excessive. You give him 15 yards. He already got the first down.
Does Kason not know his own strength or something?
He might not. He might have thought Mook Thomas was a little heavier than he thought. Let's see again on the replay. Great setup for that block there to give Thomas the opening. And then Kason just...
Oh, my goodness.
Ooh.
Okay, wow.
And Ashante getting tripped up on the play. We're trying to see who the call was on.
I think it was.
It's definitely on Kason Campbell. Look at him walk it off.
Yeah.
But Rob, you notice that's a very well designed A7FL, tight angle counterplay. They even had it looked like they had a pulling player from the opposite side, and that just shows the drastic difference between the play calling from one quarterback to the other.
That's a fact, man. The play calling ability of Mark Diggs can't be underestimated.
Stansberry in as well, the throw, and that one will be incomplete. Worthy covering Mike, he gonna make it on that one.
And Diggs looked up and saw Asante was covering Mike, he gonna make it, knew he still had to get the ball off. But there's no way. I mean, it's still dangerous to throw the ball anywhere near Asante, but he still got it far enough that Asante wouldn't have been a factor, because I don't think Mikey gonna make it is anywhere near as fast as Asante Worthy.
I don't know how many people in the league are faster than Asante, but Corey, go ahead.
Well, and when you see an inaccurate throw like that, what's really happening? It's not that Mark Diggs is inaccurate. It's that with like a 1.5 second pocket, maybe something I can comment on. when you're anticipating where you need to throw that post route, you're throwing it way before you can even really look at the coverage downfield. So that's why it's 2nd and 10, because he's just trying to get the ball out there.
They try to bring the whole community with Mike. He gonna make it on the handoff, and he is met at the line, and they will stop him there. Campbell, Isaac Negron and Trey Robinson in on the tackle on Mike. He gonna make it. You see Asante Worthy tender. That ankle looks a little tender. Not David Tender.
No, but you see that?
Yep.
You see that, right?
Welcome to Big Rob's High Horse, presented to you by.
I don't even want to be up this high. I hate this, because when you have players of that caliber, yes, they want to go out and have fun, but one of the worst things that could possibly happen here is a stupid ankle injury, and we know Ashanti struggled with an ankle injury a couple seasons ago that actually hindered his performance. He still did well. He put up numbers, but they weren't Ashanti Worthy numbers.
That might have been the reason why they weren't able to make it to the chip in 2023. That was the problem 2 seasons ago.
And guys, just a reminder, because I'm busy with my schedule. Who do they play next week?
They play the Silk City Animals, and Mike, he gonna make it with a silky catch there, getting the first down and keeping the buzz in this one. They won't call it a first down. It looks like it might be 4th and short.
That's still what you need to do to get the first down eventually. Get the ball out, get it to a playmaker's hands in space. But again, if I'm sure Ashanti will hopefully be fine. Sure. He was able to get off on his own, but that's what Rob's talking about. Next week, first of all, it's a 32-point lead. There's plenty of time left in this game, but we're watching it, so we know what's going on.
Right.
Right. So
Kenny Stansberry. Hold on, I just want to point out Kenny Stansberry looking to throw people out the club wearing the security beanie.
But worse, you have Sterry out there now.
Empty backfield from Mark Diggs. The pressure, the throw popped up, caught by a lineman. Is he eligible though? Is he eligible?
It touched.
Oh, it's hit. And the Buzz find themselves fortuitous enough to get a first down, but a flag on the play.
Hold on, Rob knows the rule here. Rob of anybody.
Rob, get down to the field. Rob, obviously we're in Baltimore. Head down to the field. Tell them what's up.
I have to. If it's tipped,
by Sterry,
like
by the BIC player, now it's live ball. If it's tipped by
phenomenal read by Sterry. Oh no, it's live. It's live.
I don't know if it touches Mike.
We got to see the other side of that. We have to see the other side of it. If it is tipped up, it's a live ball. Stansberry will get credited for the tackle. But you can see the frustration on the big man's face after that play. You can say that. I can't.
Yeah, I could probably.
Rob let his intrusive thoughts.
They won. Corey, they won.
They won.
Oh, we're back, baby. We're back.
We're sitting here, 32-point lead. Crazy things are happening. Rob's just like, yeah, let's not lie to the fans. We all saw it.
First down buzz.
Yeah, listen, that's a heads-up play. And look, I'm not going to praise either the design, the execution, or
the football gods were trying to throw some things there.
You want to be real? Sterry reads the play so well that he causes that.
Yeah, he Malcolm Butlers that thing, and instead of intercepting it, he gets it to an offensive lineman who is more than happy to take advantage of his one opportunity that he has in this game.
He's super excited.
And whether you're in Williamsburg, Colonial, East, or otherwise, or anywhere across the globe on DAZN or A7FL.TV. We're so glad you're joining us. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. 38-6 your score. The Buzz driving here after a fortuitous doink by the BIC's Sterry Codrington.
And the development right now of this drive, because there is a lot of good things happening for the Buzz, and they need it. But I see Sterry and Kason Campbell still out there.
I think that they're just gonna.
Kason's okay. I've seen Kason play defense multiple seasons for BIC. I'm not really surprised at
First and 10, another screen attempt, and it went to the man who caught the doink, but he could not dink that one. It will be second down.
Yeah, Sterry's making phenomenal reads on that defense right now. He sees
that's
everything.
his natural position.
Yeah, he sees everything Mark Diggs is looking at.
He's looking at his trophy shelf, thinking about what Huff did with the animals playing both ways, and he's saying, there's an empty spot here collecting dust. It'll just be easier to put up another trophy than have to dust that spot on my trophy case.
I mean, can you imagine though, Sterry going out there playing corner in the chip last season, and he's the one that gets the interception that helps them win the game,
or better yet. Or better yet, A7FL Insider saw that hit against the QC Crush. He ends it at like the 1 yard line on a big play like that.
Right.
Sterry Codrington might be and Ashante might be the closest thing we have Travis Hunter in the Eastern Conference. Diggs smothered, covered, brought down, and a flag on the play. We'll see what the call is, but Isaac Negron living up to that ISAC nickname. The iOS update puts him in the black and gold, and it may be third down.
He didn't want to play football with me.
That's the new shirt coming to A7FLmerch.com. He didn't want to play with me, Big Rob Fabian.
Well, listen, when I asked...
That shirt would sell in the A7, I promise you that. That shirt right there, he didn't want to play with me, that shirt would sell in the A7. I promise you.
Well, and I'll say, when I asked those guys to play on my team, they were like, well, how are we going to pad our stats with sacks, bro? No way.
We need you.
We can't wait to play you, Corey.
Negron with his third sack of the day.
And did he just text you that from the field?
Yes, he did. He's been keeping me up to date with all of his stats. No, that was Cole Gardella. Shout out to the head of stats. Diggs trying to stat up a tutty, and he can't get there. Mikey gonna make it, sees the ball get swatted away, and it will be fourth down.
Was that a swat, or was that just a straight drop?
It might have been. I thought it got hit in the air, but we'll take a look again if we get the replay.
It was kind of a bang play, and the play happens just as quickly for us in the booth as it did for the receiver out in space. Now he's open, and it might be Trey Robinson that gets the ball out there. No, it's just a little behind him.
He just couldn't get it there.
A little bit behind him. That's that timing we're talking about again. When you miss it just there. What's up, Pack Money?
And we see Marcellus Pack as he gets ready for our 4 o'clock game. A little bit of preview there. But before that, the BIC look to ash out the DC Buzz. Here on fourth down. The snap, Diggs throws this one. Tipped, incomplete. And the BIC defense and Kason Campbell strapping him up for a long car ride home, first and 10 Trenton.
So the adjustments have been made.
Yeah.
As you can see, BIC is now acclimated to the quick release of Mark Diggs, and they're jumping everything and reading everything because Mark Diggs throws it the way a quarterback is supposed to.
And
1, 2, zip. 1, 2, 3, zip.
Yeah.
Like he's letting it fly.
Rob, you literally stole the words right out of my mouth.
Corey.
No. I love it because that's exactly what happened. Now they're adjusting to Mark Diggs. They're tighter on all of those short routes. They're not messing around. They're clamping down, and that's exactly what you want to see from a team that is having a lot of fun, but needs to walk out of here healthy and with a victory.
Isaac Negron 1 sack away from tying his own record. Codrington throws this, gets it over.
H3.
Frazier
Oh my
showing some ski slope ability there, just finding a way to switch those hips up. What a play. First down, Trenton.
I don't even think he was out there on defense. This is one of the top corners in the A7FL, and we know he can catch because he's got tons of interceptions. And running the same crosser route that Kason Campbell's been killing him with.
He's been a solid performer for the BIC the last few seasons on offense and defense, and we'll be back with more after this. We're back live, and we take a look at this throw to H3 Frazier as the BIC make their way down to Baltimore, trying to get the Charm City Gym badge here in the A7FL. They already collected one out in the Midwest. They're trying to be the very best like no one ever was. Like young Ash Ketchum in the tournament with 6:16 left to go in the third. Matt, Robin, Corey with you. Your friends back with you watching the game.
K-Wack does go into the DMs, and he is trying to catch them all. So.
And that's who'd wear the shirt. He didn't want to play with me. That shirt, I'm telling you, that shirt is amazing.
That one will be available very soon, mainly because I can't Photoshop while I'm on television. And we see the pressure coming from the Buzz. That entire bottom of your screen completely empty. 3 wide receivers at the top, 1 in motion. That's Trey Cohen. The snap, the throw, caught. And that is H3 Frazier again, switching time zones, and he finds a way to break it into the 40s and gets past the 30-yard line, get 35, inside the 30 now. BIC continuing the roll, 11 in on the tackle, Molly in on the play. This BIC offense rolling here, Big Rob. We'll take a look again on the replay. That fake to Cohen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a great design play. Ooh, okay. Good blocking. H3 reads it and sees how open it is on that right side and just takes off.
I talked about that right side being open, a little handsy there.
Hey, if the ref ain't see it, neither did I. Neither did I.
Some third date tomfoolery, but the BIC keeping it going here, Core.
Well, and usually on those quick screens, it's the BIC blocking that is exceptional and springs them. But credit H3 Frazier, not great blocking, but the way that they designed it, they threw it almost a little bit more behind the line of scrimmage than normal. Give him enough space to get the Huss involved. And that's an easy first down. Again, BIC on the move.
1st and 10, just at the 5-minute mark here in our third quarter. At 4 o'clock here on A7FL.TV, and you can find out where else on A7FL.com/watch. It will be the Renegades taking on the Watchmen. The handoff to Robinson. Trey Robinson has had an effective and efficient day running the ball, and they will get it at the 48, and it will be 2nd down.
Trey Robinson has been such a solid addition to this BIC team. I gotta admit, I was one of the people that was very confused
Flag on the
as
play.
to what he would do when he got there to BIC, but he's gotten to BIC and just fit right in. It's as if he's been there the whole time, honestly.
Holding on the offense seems to be the call, and the BIC will get backed up again.
And with Trey, he's kind of fit the role that the other Trey, Cohen, has. And when he just gets onto the field, he can play almost every position except for, offensive line. He even plays defensive line at times. And when you're that unselfish with that amount of ability, a lot of A7FL teams are going to find a way to use you effectively, and BIC has done so with Trey Robinson.
2nd and 17, holding on the play before. The last play was a legal block in the back on the offense. So one more time on the screen. Robinson this time, that's Ashante Worthy from Codrington. Ashante Worthy just breaks it, and he is trying to break the internet. Slips, slides, takes it to the house. Touchdown, BIC, the 40 boys back with emphasis.
I think the question has just been answered. Ashante Worthy is definitely faster than Mike. He's going to make it. Yikes.
Well, more than that, when we watched the H3 Frazier quick screen, basically a very similar, type of play, the blocking was not as good as it was on that play. They go rocket screen, so you see K-Wack and Marquis are out in front, getting a body.
Great block, K-Wack.
And
Trey
look at
Cohen. That. Wow, yeah. But
and if you're going to give Ashante Worthy that type of space and that type of blocking, it doesn't matter how fast Mike he gonna make it is. If you got a body on a body with that type of ball carry behind it.
And the ability just to time the jump as Mikey gonna make it and his hat get taken out. And there's one of the more dangerous men in this league. Pack Money, we're gonna see him in our 4 o'clock game. This is the kind of breakaway speed Marcellus Pack has on the 3-on-1 returns. What is he gonna be able to bring in our 4 o'clock game against the East Orange Renegades? Will Pack Money at home with a little bit of home cooking be enough for the Baltimore Watchmen to get back into the win column after their loss last week? We're going to find out at 4 o'clock right here on A7FL.TV, internationally on DAZN. And you can find out where live, whether on Fox Soul or on YouTube. You can find out where on A7FL.com/watch. And, of course, on Triller TV Plus and Fight 24/7 presented by Triller. Pac Money is one of the most dangerous receivers, dangerous returners in the league. Caught a couple of tutties last week in the Watchman's loss to the Animals.
They're going to hate what me saying this. He was lost a step, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah. This Pac Money that we saw in the championship, that one right there, I have not seen him since.
And they will go for a 2-point after the timeout here from the BIC. Corey, when you take a look at this 4 o'clock game, it's going to be Carlos Crosland or Pac Money. Carlos Crosland or OG Buck behind center. And we take a look again at the touchdown one more time. Sterry Codrington been having a ball out there. 44-6 your lead. But the matchup here, Crosland or Buck against Anthony Service. A fully loaded Watchman team at home is hard to pick against, but Service has had a Rookie of the Year type season.
Yeah, Service looks to be kind of the future prototype of quarterbacks in this league. I wouldn't say he does it exactly like Sterry, but he does have a tool bag that has as many compartments potentially as Sterry does. But on the Watchman side at the quarterback position, even if Buck isn't 100%, what he brings his team is the leadership, the guile, and the design on offense. Schematically, there's almost no one as good. Definitely not anybody heads and shoulders better than calling plays like OG Buck. But Carlos Crosland last week, interception, receiving touchdown, passing touchdown. Here's Trey Robinson.
Throws it. That one gets grounded in the dirt. Had someone in the back sack, but it will remain 44-6. Career high yards in passing for Sterry Codrington, 391. 14 for 18 on the day. His most efficient performance to date. And folks, if you want to rep the A7FL wherever you go, get your fan gear today. Don't just watch the game. Wear the game. Go to A7FLshop.com. That's A7FLshop.com. Or scan the QR code now and get some merch. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. Your score 44-6. And whether you're in Arverne by the Sea or saying hello to me, so glad you're joining us here on our A7FL Games of the Week. Corey Hammond and Big Rob Fabian alongside me. And an attempt for the DC Buzz to get some more solid return yards. That has been the big bright spot, aside from the return of Mark Diggs behind center. But with the score 44-6, Trey Cohen out to return the ball. Corey, what do you got?
Well, with the trouble with that return stat, when you see it pile up, is it means you're getting a lot of opportunities on the 3-on-1 throw off, which means you're letting up a lot of touchdowns. So,
Sterry Codrington,
a plus or minus there.
Yeah, 6 passing touchdowns on the day. That ball will bounce out of play, and it will be a dead ball return.
Yeah, just as a reminder, they're seared into my vision. 14 for 18, 391 yards, 6 touchdowns is insane. And when you think about the way that he's doing it, he's not throwing 60-yard passes every time. He had a beautiful throw on the reverse flea flicker. But it's the dump off to K-Wack, and he gets yards after the catch. It's quick screens. Guys are getting blocks and getting in front. It's the sit route to Ashanti Worthy, which was the first touchdown, and they just can't tackle him. And it's 6 or 7 yard crossing routes to Kason Campbell that are expounding into huge plays because of blocking downfield. So great day from Sterry Codrington, but it's also great play from all of those wide receivers out in space.
And here we go on the dead ball run. Another solid gain. Gets him across the 50, but Kason Campbell talking to him like Steve Austin in 98. Nah, son, you're not going to be able to do that. It's an awful Steve Austin impression. Werner Herzog is much better. But 44-6 with 4:19 left to go. And the Trenton BIC defense looking to do what they've been doing all afternoon long with, well, a few limited exceptions. And that is control the pace of this game.
Yeah, and if you're a Buzz fan, you're looking at the score. It's not looking great, but the season is not finished for this team. And they did start the game with Mike De Niro at quarterback, but you see Mark Diggs does bring something a little bit different. They've got to continue to fight in this game, not just because they're going to, there's still a full quarter and a third of a quarter left in this game, but they have to play games moving forward, and they have to figure out which way they're best at attacking defenses. Is Mark Diggs the answer? Is Mike De Niro the answer? Should they run? Should they throw? They have to figure a lot out with these many questions leading into this drive, but they do come back out with Mark Diggs, and looks like they're going to run the ball.
First and second down. The toss. Picked up.
Oh, my goodness.
Thrown out the club.
Oh, my goodness.
Thrown out the club. Ashante Worthy in on the tackle along with Mike Amankwa, number 32. Well, pardon me, I think that was Trey Robinson in on the play. But let's do a little housekeeping real quick in terms of record watch, because we are in record watch for two different things right now. But let's take a look again at the carry from number 4, Onion. And Onion finds his different layers peeled out by Robinson, Worthy, and the BIC defense. On defense, with Negron having 3 sacks on the day, one more would tie himself for the single game record in sacks for the modern A7FL. That is since 2022. Since the advent of the before David era. You can get that shirt at tinyurl.com/A7FL merch, the before David era shirt. But Codrington has 6 touchdowns. His 7th passing touchdown of the day would tie the single game record that Sterry already has and has done twice. This would be the 3rd time he ties the record. And here's a handoff and another emphatic stop, that time from Campbell. Isaac Negron, it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, I mean, listen, what I said at the beginning of this drive for the Buzz is figure out what you're going to do, but on 1st down, you don't get anything. 2nd down, you run into a brick wall. You're the quarterback, whoever it is, you got to go in there, and you've got to at least put it on your back and give your offense a chance to move the ball downfield. 3rd and 9 is tough sledding against this defense, but Mark Diggs has stepped in there before.
Fakes the screen, the toss, and that ball's loose. That's fumbled, picked up by Kevin White. And we'll see if it's a dead play. It's a forward toss, so could be counted as an incomplete, but that will be 4th down. Not what you want for the Buzz.
Yeah,
you know Corey's rule. You know Corey's rule. That's a forward pass, man.
Yeah, but that's also a really, really tough effort to leave your team on. I don't know if they designed kind of like a shovel pass screen there.
Probably.
But 3rd and 9, especially knowing you're going to go for it, maybe you get 3 or 4 yards and make it more manageable. But as this game has progressed, Mark Diggs is throwing it quicker and quicker. So there is a timing that is too quick, because he does have that little extra half second to let things develop maybe. But right there, nothing sledding. It'll bring up 4th down.
4th down for the Buzz. Diggs and the offense will remain out there. 5 for 12, 89 yards and a tutty. Mark Diggs. So far today, down 44-6.
And he started the game off 3 for 5, so you do that math.
It ain't good.
Since he's 2 for 7.
Diggs throws it, caught. Can they get the 1st down? Trying to battle, spins his way out of there.
Looks like Mike De Niro.
That is number 2. That is Mike De Niro on the catch. But is that enough for a 1st down? It looks like it is, and the Buzz continue to stay alive here late in the 3rd.
And there you go. You just call a slant. You get it to a guy who knows what to do in space to get those extra couple of yards. And I don't know how many times consecutively he pressed the circle button or the B button if you're an Xbox guy. But the button mashing works, and it's a 1st and 10 for the Buzz.
Tom Mascaro was in on the tackle. Looks like Williams will call himself an eligible receiver. Goodridge on the edge for the BIC. There on your screen, the pressure, the throw. Goodridge got in there and swatted it. Looks like Mikey gonna make its hammy might have pulled. That is not what you want if you are the Buzz.
And where Mark Diggs comes in the game and started throwing great passes, now you can see his footwork is failing him. He's bailing on those throws instead of stepping up into the hit, which is, let's be honest, it's not an easy thing to do.
Not at all.
But when you're not the type of athlete that Mike De Niro is, that we saw when he's thrown off his back foot, able to complete that pass in the 1st quarter, Mark Diggs is a lot of things.
I mean, what do you sacrifice, though?
There's a lot to Mark Diggs. Let's be clear.
Right.
But he's not the off-balance thrower that David Tender is for a lot of different reasons.
Corey,
a lot.
You're the head coach of the DC Buzz. Who do you start?
You know me. I'm going pocket passer all day, but I gotta see proper footwork from my quarterback if we want to
be the last play of the 3rd, tipped, and that one incomplete, swatted up by Big Mo Ramadan, and we will end. We will end the. Go, Corey.
No, that's not on Diggs. that's the end. That's how we end the quarter. Is good play from Big Mo.
At the end of 3, the BIC with the lead. What will happen with the final 15? We'll find out in just 2 minutes' time. It's 44-6. Games of the week. We're back next. (44-6) your score. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Corey Hammond and Big Rob Fabian. And whether your name is Kevin, Devin, or Jevin, we're so glad you're joining us here on A7FL.TV in the zone.
Kevin White, Devin White,
Jevin
White, BIC in 4 quarters.
GIF. Here comes the pressure. Diggs. He thought the ground was wearing blue for a second, and
it's the footwork. I'm telling you, footwork matters when you're a quarterback. When you step up in the pocket, you don't get back to your base, and you're throwing off balance, and you got a lot going on. Remember, there's a lot to Mark Diggs. He's got to get that front hip turned around if he wants any chance of completing that. And Rob tried to hold himself back from a chuckle. And he should have just let it rip because we all saw it. We all saw what was happening there. He started to play off like really well. That was actually a great step up in the pocket.
He did. It looked great. If he had a little bit of, engine room, he might have been able to get a couple yards with his legs, but he might have pulled a Corey Hammond. We've seen that.
No, listen, my ability is I run. I think I got like 12 yards. I looked to the sideline. I'm like, wait, I only got 3 on that? Yeah, Mark Diggs taking off. He might punish somebody that made the wrong decision. Here's a quick screen.
Big man on the screen. That's GT Williams. GT Williams with the toe package, getting to the 21. First down, DC.
Yeah, get the ball out of your hands. Get it to somebody who can run. That's Mark Diggs' offense. And right there, they call the play quick enough that it catches me off guard. Although I talk too much, admittedly. So, 1st and 10.
Certainly would get a Botchamania segment named after you. 1st and 10 to snap, the throw to the end zone. Gets the space, gets the catch. Touchdown, Buzz, but will it stand?
They're not throwing it, though.
Hey, if they don't call it, I ain't see it. My fault. I didn't mean to narc.
That is
They're not throwing it.
Junior going on the track meet. He is...
He's unaware of the scoreboard. That's what he is.
Let them boys be excited about some sparks. Sparks from Mark. Let's go.
Again, another really not so perfect throw. It's so underthrown that it gives his receiver a chance. But the timing allows for his receiver to make a catch that.
He can't see that. He can't see it. That angle, he had the same angle as the ref.
And you can't call a penalty on it. You can't do that on a scoring play.
Yeah, ref doesn't see that.
He was just impressed with the fabric.
Ref doesn't see that.
Extra point, can't get there, and there's the flag. And Saeed
they're going to call that one now, though.
Oh, yeah, you're going to call that one on.
It's in the chat. I'm just reporting the news.
Corey Hammond doing the job of the Baltimore Sun here, and we will get another run at this extra point.
That's rough, man.
Someone asked, Proc in the chat asking, why do you guys keep forgetting that John Gauze plays for the Watchmen? We don't. John Gauze has been injured consistently.
What kind of silly question is that? How dare you?
We've only seen OG Buck and Carlos Crosland so far in the games of the week this season. If John Gauze Jr. is behind center, then that's a whole different ball game. And we will see the Buzz here go for the attempt from the 5, and timeout called. Mark Diggs not happy.
Well, what he's saying is that they went for 2 on the previous play, right? So when there's the 5-yard holding penalty, because it wasn't a catchable ball, so that's the only penalty.
So it'd be a 2 from the 5.
It's a 2 from the 5, and both offensive linemen are kind of fighting with the entire group of people. Where do we line up, please? And then they were playing some kind of musical chairs, and Mark Diggs is like, wait, I could also play offensive line, so he was about to run up there. It was just a mess.
8 for 18, 134 yards, 2 tutties on the day for Mark Diggs, coming in relief from Mike DeNaro, who started the game, but had some sufficient plays at running back, was helpful on this drive to help set up the touchdown.
Hey, converted a 4th down, not too shabby.
Big play. The Buzz finding momentum a little too late in this game.
Yeah, very late.
And now going for 2 from the 5 after the penalty. And
he dropped
T.T.
it.
Williams can't bring it down.
That was his best throw of the game.
Honestly.
And folks, if you need to be protected like G.T. Williams after that play, get more protection with the Gator Skin Shiesty. Helps prevent up to 79% of concussion risks, and you can get 10% off them right now. Go over to Gator Tech. That's G8RTech.com. That's G8RTech.com. Use the code A7FL25. Get 10% off now, or just scan the QR code right there on your screen. BIC with the lead. They'll get the ball back after Mark Diggs made the touchdown. And it will be Trey Cohen returning it now for Trenton. Late in our 3rd quarter, Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond coming up at the top of the hour. It'll be the Baltimore Watchmen taking on the East Orange Renegades. That action will be live right here on A7FL TV and across all of our big live partners, DAZN, Triller, Fight 24/7, and then, of course, on Fox Soul. We're so glad you're joining us here on A7FL.TV. The Crush get the win over the Octane, and they will get their 2nd win of the campaign. Keep them alive in the playoff hunt. The BIC with a win, all but secure a spot in the 2025 playoffs. And Trey Cohen making one man miss, trying to make the 2nd miss and cannot get past number 23. Everything Holder holds it down there on defense. And it will be on the return team. It'll be 1st and 10 for the BIC as Codrington, Robinson, and company make their walk out to the goal line. The down marker.
Still the craziest name I've heard today. Gotta be honest.
It's a top tier name.
It is. I've heard a few monstrous ones, but everything holder, everyone holder.
Well,
everyone.
Right now the BIC holding the fate of the holding everything regarding the fate of the Eastern Conference in their hands. One of the few undefeated teams alongside the Animals and the Insomniacs in the A7FL. The Insomniacs against the Silver State Stealth at 7 p.m. Eastern on A7FL.TV. Will be Chris Vera and Dub Alvarez on the call. Empty backfield for Codrington on 1st and 10. Codrington will just keep it, and
goodness.
Codrington just
Pancake.
finds himself charming in the Charm City. How is Sterry Codrington able to do this? Finds himself around the blocker,
Oh,
keeps
my
the play alive,
goodness.
and is brought down with an Uranagi Tane at the 40. What a play. Mike De Niro in on the tackle. Codrington don't care. First down, BIC.
Stary. My goodness.
Rob, what is Trey Robinson serving for breakfast over there, coming out of the backfield, going at wide receiver, and then all of a sudden,
Pancakes,
he's still blocking.
extra syrup.
Tons of butter.
Tons of butter.
Tons of butter.
Tons of butter.
Gave him the boysenberry special, 1st and 10. The snap, Codrington. Looking to light the lamp one more time. Gets it to
Trey
Robinson.
Okay, all right.
He's choosing violence.
They almost fusion danced in real life the hard way.
Look at this. Look at these collection of husses.
Just watch.
Look at this.
Watch the transition of the
Hey,
legs and the
buddy.
hips. Ooh.
Huss. Hey, buddy. Huss.
Codrington on 1st down after the play from Robinson to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. BIC. And that is Trey Cohen. Another tutty.
Oh my goodness! This Baltimore doing the Baltimore shuffle.
The Park
Yikes.
Heights Shuffle. Touchdown BIC. And for the 3rd time, Sterry Codrington has thrown for 7 touchdowns in a game. For the 3rd time. 3. That seems to be an incalculable feat at any level of football. But watch here, Cohen, Codrington, bang, 6 more. The 50 boys back in business in Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, look who he's throwing to. He's got Kason Campbell with 2 already. Ashanti Worthy, I believe, has 2.
Those kicks.
K-Wack has at minimum 1.
I need those shoes. Those Jordans are fantastic.
Yeah, those are tough.
And a little bit of that billionaire strut. 50-12. Going for 1 from the 5-yard line. Big time line for Codrington. He has time. He might just jot this one in and writes it in the notebook. 50-12, now 51-12. The BIC with the lead. And folks, if you want to be a part of the conversation, if you want to talk to me and Rob and Corey, now or anytime, download the Locker Room Chat app today. Go to a7fl.com/chat. Drop a comment, get a shout from our official chat room partner, Locker Room Chat. We see here against Sterry Codrington.
Just nasty.
Gets on his bicycle and just goes. Like, that's not even a bicycle at that point. That's just one of those electronic scooters you see driving around Midtown, just through traffic. If not one of those Batmobile three-wheelers you see in the city. Just an impressive day for Codrington. 7 passing touchdowns. There's nothing else. There's no other superlatives that we can use.
No.
I'll say this, and this may be the hot take. Doing all that, over 400 something yards, does he look like he's at peak form today in the air?
I mean, he does.
No, it's the decision making's there, but does he look like he's throwing perfect spirals, dotting everybody up? 99 accuracy in Madden?
He doesn't need to, but he's 16 for 20, 432 yards, 7 touchdowns. And that ball did not make the requisite distance, so it'll be a dead ball run for DC. And if this score holds and this result holds after the Crush got the win in Ohio over the Octane, our 4 o'clock game, gentlemen, the stakes have just been raised if this score and this setup holds out, because the upcoming game at 4 o'clock, winner of that game all but locks in. No, they guarantee a playoff spot. The winner of that game, it's winning in for the Watchmen and the Renegades. So now on the dead ball run, an opportunity for the Buzz to get on the board, but they will get the ball knocked out. Shedrick Goodridge, the MMA fighter, in on the tackle along with Worthy and Zaire Hancock. They stop zone 29 at the 50.
Yeah, pretty good return. But again, and just to clarify with Sterry Codrington, I'm not trying to kind of disrespect the awesome performance, 16 for 20, 400 plus yards, 7 touchdowns. I'm just saying That's him kind of, still, got the towel on the football, trying to get a good handle. He airmailed a couple that he wants back. Those numbers could be worse, is all I'm saying. That's insane.
And 51-12 with 12-13 left to go. Yeah, no, he's able to make all of those plays and make all that happen without having the most accurate arm in the league. But his ability to read the field, the ability to read defenses, it has been an impressive performance from just now Codrington there in the secondary, leading out there. He might know what Mark Diggs is trying to plan. The handoff, he tries to fill the gap, does Codrington, and he gets the tackle.
Oh, my God.
TFL?
Is he the smartest man in the league? Is he the smartest football mind in the league right now?
His IQ is definitely up there, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's from people that have played with him. I know a couple of guys that have played with him that can really, really speak and vouch for his IQ.
Yeah, I'll say what helps that IQ is that 4.3 number that he adds to his list of superlatives. I don't know what his IQ number is, but that 4.3 makes those quick decisions lethal for the teams he's playing against. I guess on offense and now defense. And adding a TFL to the stat sheet.
And when you've got loss, those guys on the line, Kevin White, Big Mo Ramadan, you got H3 Frazier, the throw, a little bit of a wobbler. Worthy swats it away. Intended for number 7, Graves Jr., not able to go, and it will be 3rd down.
They got to just be careful. Honestly, 51-12, I understand, the kind of football players that these guys are, but they have to make sure that with the game of the week next week on the schedule, that they're ready and prepared.
We have a loaded week next week.
Yeah, go ahead.
Our 7 o'clock game will be the BIC and the Animals next week, but we will have more on our Games of the Week schedule. And we'll let you know more about that on social media by following the A7FL.
And the center for the Buzz right now, as wide as he is tall. So that's a good one.
Diggs will throw this one on 3rd down. No one can get there. Was intended for Graves Jr., who zagged when he should have zigged, and will zig-a-zig-ah to the 4th down. If the Buzz want to keep their future, they got to forget about their past, and they've got to make things last year by getting the 1st down.
You hit the parlay there on.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really want. So
tell us what you want.
I wanna keep calling the games with my friends Rob and Corey.
Announcer spice in the building. I feel it.
Well, I do have red hair, so it kind of,
It works.
Sporty Matt. 9:25 left to go in the 4th quarter. At the top of the hour, it will be Renegades taking on the Watchmen at home. And Mark Diggs looking for Klempt, perplexed, and possibly for Schnicht as he talks it over with the Buzz in the huddle.
The game coming up, guys, may... we'll see how it plays out. But based on the stakes, the first time for the Renegades to really be on Games of the Week, to feature the additions that they've made in the offseason and have kind of worked into already in week 4 of the A7FL 2025, this could be one of the better games that we watch all year, and I'm excited for it.
I cannot wait for that 4 o'clock game, and I cannot wait for the reaction coming out of this weekend. We'll be talking about that and more on A7FL in Motion. Be sure to watch that wherever you can. A7FL.com/watch for more. And watch this on 4th down. Trying to get the 1st down. Diggs to, I believe, De Niro. H3 Frazier in on the tackle. And it looks like they turned it over.
Enough. Yeah, 4th and 10, it's not enough. You go quick screen. I don't know. You want that extra completion. Try to get to 50% on the stat sheet if you're Mark Diggs.
Helps the stats, does not help the score. And conversation and consternation with our officials. Trey Robinson already dressed to go out to dinner, it seems. He's done for the day. We'll take a brief timeout. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. We'll get this settled and possibly see the BIC back with the ball after this. It's A7FL TV. We're back in Baltimore, and we're so glad you're joining us. Don't worry about anything else than the fact that we're live on A7FL.tv in custom athletic uniforms for all athletes, any sport, any age. You can get them at tpg-sports.com. That's tpg-sports.com. Get yourself an official customizable A7FL uniform at tpg-sports.com. Scan the QR code now. Look clean. Use TPG. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. And on the fourth down play, it was turned over, could not get the yardage necessary. So we're back with Sterry Codrington behind center, and he hands it off to the big man, Bone Harris, and Bone Harris pushes the pile ahead, and he gains some yards on first down.
I ain't never scared. Go ahead, Bone.
That's a well-designed shovel pass. They do action to the right with Sterry Codrington, who's obviously dangerous himself, and then they get the H-back finally involved. Coming across the field, the A-gap opens up wide for Bone, and he's able to get a first down.
And it will be 1st and 10. It will not be 4th down. They adjust the sticks, and it will be the BIC. Look to walk out of here today with the win. Undefeated on the season, undefeated on the road and at home, which is a tough task for any team in the A7FL.
Especially this year.
And let's talk about that for a second. The competition in the Eastern Conference has gotten so much tighter this season with the inclusion of Anthony Service. Let's shout out the John Kessler and the Santistabons. They're recruiting at the Animals. The Ron Clark and what he's been able to do with the Renegades. We've seen a lot of contenders, and even the Hawks, too, having Amir Morris, Corey Hammond, who's joining us here on the broadcast. And that one's over to number 14, tries to keep it going. That's Shedrick Goodridge on the carry, and it will be another first down for the BIC, and Shedrick Goodridge is not a man you want to trifle with.
Not at all. Leave him alone. He got a bald head, and he's leave him alone. Leave Shedrick alone.
Yeah, just tackle him, walk away from him, don't start anything.
Say, good job, buddy, and then just walk off.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. Hello, goodbye, 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 goodbye. And speaking of goodbye, Sterry Codrington looking to say bye-bye. Gets another first down, doesn't get the tutty, but the BIC continuing the drive midway through the 4th.
And let me just publicly apologize for giving Scott Hamilton and the Insomniacs any grief for the amount of time he has given in his pocket. We have seen in back-to-back weeks David Tender and Sterry Codrington stand back there
and here we go again.
Basically just get into a text message chain.
Codrington can
receivers
complete a pass to H3 Frazier before Corey finishes his thought, and it's another big play for the BIC.
Well, I thought he was going to have another 14 seconds back there. I apologize.
Codrington in the goal line. 1st and goal, the handoff to the big man, Bone Harris. Slip slide. It's always thick boy season in the A7FL, but he can't cross the goal line, and he is down on the play. Looks like he might have hurt his shoulder. They give him the touchdown.
Yeah, I think he was able to get it across.
Well, let's see. He caught it in. This is the last
H3.
play.
Yeah,
H3.
This is just a good catch by H3, but great tackle to stop the touchdown.
That got them to the 5. But we'll see the last play and see if Bone Harris did not get the touchdown.
Oh.
Or no, he might have gotten it, but he is injured on the field. We will take a timeout, and when we return, we'll hope to have an update on Bone Harris and the score, 57-12. We'll be back with more in just a moment. It's the A7FL Games of the Week on A7FL.tv. We are back live. You see Hirsch back on the field. Hirsch is back along with H3 Frazier. I'm Matt. That's Rob. That's Corey. A shout out to Bone Harris, who was able to get up on his own power and walk off the field. He was injured. And as we take a look here at the action so far today, and we see Sterry Codrington helping him out along with Tom Mascaro, a.k.a. Coach. And a shout out to Bone. It looks like that touchdown did stand. The touchdown did stand, so your score is 57-12. So Bone may walk out of today with an injury, but he also walks out with a tutty. And since the start of the second quarter, Sterry Codrington has not missed a pass. He has been perfect since the start of the second quarter. That is...
and it's not only been the execution of getting the ball to his guys and making the right decision, it's been the play calling as well. The designs of these plays look like they work every time, and even when they're in a situation where they're kind of just trying to run the clock out and get the ball to guys like Bone on that shovel pass earlier in the drive, or H3 Frazier, who's a corner, getting a chance to show what he can do on offense. I thought we said you're retired. He's back again.
Hirsch is back. Much like pro wrestling in the A7FL, no one except Big Rob ever really retires. So Hirsch will be in on this carry. He will be alongside Sterry Codrington. And
Hirsch is such a legend. He laughs at the jokes in real time.
On a long desert highway, cool wind in his hair, Hirsch checks back into the Hotel California as he gets the handoff. It's a lovely place. It's good to see his lovely face, but he will not get the extra points, and the BIC will remain with the lead, 57-12.
That's on the offensive
and
line.
Also,
they gotta
retiring
protect their man better.
in this economy, 57-12 with 6:16 left to go. Matt, Rob, and Corey here with you, but good to see Hirsch back out there. One of our favorite people to watch here in the A7FL. Just like probably empirically the best person in our league.
Did you say
hands
hair?
down?
What? Did you say hair?
No, I
Blowing
said
in the wind, yeah.
Yeah, I was singing I was doing Hotel California. I was just making hotel because once you check into the A7FL, you can never leave.
Look, Hirsch.
I'm still here.
Hirsch checked out that 401k and was like, all right, Kenny Stansbury.
Well, it's
I'm
not.
back.
Well, the dividends on the scoreboard have paid off for the BIC. They lead 57-12, with not a lot of time left. 6:16 left on the board, and the Buzz, if they can walk out of here with another tutty, that could help them. They are still in the hunt for a playoff spot late into the season. But with a win here, the BIC will lock in at least for now, one of the top seeds. They will take over the top spot in the Eastern Conference with a win today. As the Animals have the bye, they will remain at 3-0. It'll be interesting to see how the top 7 voting coming out of this week will go. Sterry Codrington in on the 3-on-1 return. And that is returned by Keon Charles. And Keon Charles will find the sideline, but he will be sent out of play. Zaire Hancock will help him along his way, and it will be first down for the Buzz.
Yeah, the Buzz are obviously looking to kind of get out of here, right? It's just 57-12. Not a lot's gone well for them today, but when they have been effective, it's been the play calling and the execution from Mark Diggs. Now, I've seen on subsequent drives after he started, he's kind of getting lazy with his footwork, leading to some inaccuracy. But the 2 touchdowns on the day are touchdowns on the fade route from Mark Diggs, getting the ball out early enough. So we'll see what they do here. Probably their second to last drive of the game. They're struggling to even get the ball in.
And they are out of timeouts. They have burned through all their timeouts. So this is backs against the wall time for the Buzz, and we will see how they respond. Mark Diggs not making his way out to the field.
Yeah, they're going to try somebody out at quarterback. Not sure who yet. We'll see. It's kind of a mystery prize here. Looks like it could be Keon Charles.
Zone 29 calling the plays. And it looks like it will be Zone 29 in a quarterback.
All right, so look for option.
With De Niro in there as well alongside G.T. Williams. And there's the throw. And tried to buggy whip that one over the defensive line of the BIC, but the big bodies is Ced Goodridge and H3 Frazier getting a stop. That one swatted away by Frazier, second down.
I'm not mad at it. No, I'm not mad at it because at this point, you do have to start figuring out, what's the next step, what we can do. Yeah. Mark Diggs not working.
I'll tell you what I see, Rob.
Talk to
me. And you hate to see it. This is the situation, maybe, not confirmed, but maybe, where a guy goes, man, let me play quarterback. It's easy. I know what to do. Well, a little bit different once you're standing back there against BIC's defense. We'll see what he can do on second down.
Well, Zone 29 might find himself in a zone trap like the NHL in the early aughts. In trouble. Pressure. Throws this one out of reach of the receiver. Ashante Worthy hip to hip with Molly, number 11, and it will be third down.
It's easy. So.
It looks easy, right? Doesn't it? Doesn't it look super easy?
Not against this BIC defensive line.
It's easy to be standing there watching somebody else fail and say, "Oh, I can do better." That's what it is. Right there, you saw what happens to a lot of quarterbacks, though. Pressure in his face. It looked like he had a potential receiver across the middle. Not a deep pass, not an impossible pass to complete, but really the ball's nowhere near the receiver in a way that it could be a catchable ball, and it'll bring up 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10. The handoff. Nope. More pressure. Here comes Negron. Isaac Negron runs into his own teammate, Zaire Hancock. And Hancock might be hurt on that play. Both of them came in screaming at zone 29.
Yeah, and then Kevin White. Excuse me. Devin, Kevin.
Don't
BIC
matter,
by
BIC
50.
sack.
Yeah, and that's, he's stacking up stats in this game. That's at minimum his 2nd sack of the game because he got the strip sack and he's listening to the play for 4th down. maybe move on.
He's where the ball is. He's following the rules.
He's saying, "Hey, it's not on me, guys."
It's like one of those moments in the NBA when you see a guy getting into the huddle. It's like, sir, no, I'm just standing here. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, well, when you call the huddle at the line of scrimmage, it's legal for him to be there.
Yes.
I've seen guys come all the way the 10 yards back and see what they can hear.
You see somebody holding up a boom mic and a recorder. Someone tries to slide a phone that's live.
Say, excuse me, sir. Get out of here. Look at the cushion. You just got to throw it to him.
There's a lot of room. Watch the bottom of your screen. 4th down. Zone 29.
Why didn't he just run?
In trouble. On his bicycle. Throws this one.
That's why.
And
that's why, Rob.
Get there.
Because it's easy, isn't it?
Just run,
Flag
man.
on the play with 2:32 left to go on the clock.
Guys, I tell you guys this every day. This is why I don't have speed. If I had speed, things would be different.
Would you have still retired?
If I had some speed? No.
And by that you mean going fast. The ability to go fast.
Yes.
Flag on the play declined. It looked like it was on the it was on DC. Waiting for the call here. After that 4th down play, it would have been 1st and 10 for the BIC, and it looks like that will stand. It will be the Buzz walking back a bit on defense. Next week in the A7FL, we'll have 3 big games for you as the BIC and the Animals will finally face off. The last time these two teams played in the playoffs, they broke the scoring record. What will happen when they square off in Asbury Park one more time? Find out more about the A7FL Games of the Week at a7fl.com/watch. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond with 2:32 left to go. Coming up at the top of the hour, it'll be the Baltimore Watchmen taking on the East Orange Renegades right here on A7FL.TV and DAZN. We'll be live as well on Fox Soul, Triller TV Plus, and Fight 24/7 to toss back to Worthy on 1st down. Worthy showing that cannon of an arm to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, BIC!
Insanity. I'm cool.
What?
I'm all right.
You already knew something was up when...
Is A. Street Frazier going to go to the track? Is he just going to run the whole track right now?
Probably.
What a play.
It's youth.
Run the tape back on that one. A devastating play as he gets dapped up by the Renegades, who are setting up for our 4 o'clock game. We'll see Kenny Stansberry come back on the field, but Codrington not getting his 8th touchdown of the day, instead giving Ashante Worthy over 50 yards.
I guess I have no reason to think anything's wrong if Sterry ever goes down, nothing changes. Ashanti goes back there and can throw like that.
Ashante Worthy, a former quarterback, made his bones as a quarterback after the extra point. We'll take a brief timeout and run through the rest of this one with you. But right now, they were the 40 boys, the 50 boys, the 60 boys. They also have been the 80 boys, but I don't see that happening today. But another
Probably
impressive and efficient. That's the important thing, I think, coming out of this, Robin Corey, is that it has been an efficient offensive performance from the Trenton BIC.
For sure.
And when Kenny Stansbury's out there on an offensive extra point, you know they're having fun. There, he's that quarterback. Let's go.
And Kenny Stansbury pushes the pile, and the big man says, get out the club, get out the club. No white T-shirts. Another extra point for the BIC makes it 64-12.
The only thing that could have made that more disrespectful if he had a black and mild in his mouth as he did it.
I am in shock. I don't even know what to say.
Just go to break.
Cracking through the defense was the BIC. And we'll take a look again on the replay. Kenny Stansbury finds some moonlight. And it's not cold and lonely. He creates some space, and he just trots on in there.
Listen, he's got that speed at 54, but that break tackle is at 99.
And when we come back, we will see if the Buzz can score on an untimed down. The BIC with the lead. We wrap this one up. Next, it's the games of the week.
One.
64-12 at the 2-minute warning. It will be Mook Thomas returning on an untimed down. And Thomas will get through two defenders, but he's met by Sterry Codrington, and Codrington having a little trouble, but they will call him dead near the 50-yard line. At the top of the hour, it will be Renegades taking on the Watchmen. Throw off set for around 4:07 p.m. Eastern. But also around the league at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, we will have the Gold taking on the Hunters out in Vegas, and O has to go in that one. And then at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific in Nevada, a battle of undefeated teams. The Silver State Stealth will take on the Las Vegas Insomniacs. Will the back-to-back champions remain undefeated, or will the Stealth pull off a sneaky upset? We'll find out at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on A7FL.TV. Clock running here in the final moments of regulation. And it will be Zone 29 remaining in at quarterback for Mark Diggs and De Niro, who will line up to the left. And watch the pressure here. Codrington still in on defense, tracing back in the secondary over to De Niro. De Niro met by Goodridge and Negron. They will get the tackle, and that will be second down.
And let's be fair for the quarterback. You know, the first time we ever saw David Tender was an interception, so maybe he can come back in here, get a little yardage against a really tough defense in BIC, get a little momentum going. But, you know, with 1 minute left in the game, you're going dive. I think he's had his fill of quarterback potential.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, no. No.
And this might end up being the final play of the game. 45 seconds left to go in our game. Want to thank our producer, Alex Soberman, our other producer, Ryan DePaul, David Soberman, our director on stats and graphics, Cole Gardella on replays, Zach Morgan, and the handoff to, I believe that's GT. GT trying to show up. Oh, that's another, sorry. That is number 23. That is everyone Holder. Holder again. Been
GT
impressive.
was that quick, we have a problem.
That is true. I was looking at size for a moment, and I'm like, wait, no, I am wrong. I cannot see his number. That was Holder. But Holder, impressive. Some impressive pieces on the Buzz offense today, and they were really efficient on the returns, just not able to break through it. But the BIC will be the first team to clinch a playoff berth in the A7FL. The Insomniacs are stealth with a win today. We'll do that in the winner of our 4 o'clock game, as this one is all over in Baltimore. Your final score, 64-12. And folks, if you want to bring the A7FL to your city, go to a7fl.com/owners. For Corey Hammond, I'm Rob Fabian. We will be back at the top of the hour. Enjoy highlights, everybody. Renegades, Watchmen, watch this next.
I'm gonna lose my camera. I gotta change it back.